where you sit down and it's like a big, huge like screen that's curved. I saw somebody selling on one of the Facebook groups. They were selling for like $3,000.
That's crazy.
And yeah, but it's the actual like the battle pod that like I don't know. It's cool because you like enter and you close the doors and you feel like you're like I don't know if you guys ever played that arcade.
I don't think I played that one.
I don't know, but I'm hearing what you're saying. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but I really hope that they do make more like Star Wars arcade one-ups or just more arcade one-ups in general. Like did you Nick, did you pick up that Star Wars pinball machine?
I did not. I'm not a big pinball guy. Not a big
you're
pinball
not?
guy. Yeah. Plus there's Kylo Ren's on it.
Oh
you know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you.
You can reinforce to that shit. I mean, easy.
What's that?
You can get overlays and put over that.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I would want it to look something like it was something out of 1985. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I want to show you guys like how the battle pod used to look like, and you guys might like look familiar to you guys once I show you the picture. So this is like the battle pod like that used to look like.
I think I played something like that at Dave & Buster's.
Well, I always wanted to play it, but every single time that I try to go into these battle pods, oh yeah, you're right. See, Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
Every time I try to go there's always a line to get into the battle pod.
Oh, sure.
And I never got a chance to play it. So yeah, I saw someone online selling it for like $3,000. Oh wait, what's this? New flat screen is revealed at New York Comic Con. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you could actually buy this on the regular instead of like flat screen edition? I don't know. That looks expensive.
To say the least.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, like I said, like they come out with more stuff in the future in terms of arcade. Yeah, but Nick, what else you been up to, man? How's things? Yeah. How's your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was good, man. It's good. Just chilling with the family and had some bird, and we didn't do the full Thanksgiving thing this year. We actually got Boston Market, which was fine. It was good.
My wife and them did that.
Yeah,
yeah, they did that.
Yeah, she didn't want to cook a bird. I don't blame her. So yeah, it was all good, man. It was good.
Did you guys see that Popeyes was selling like a spice rub turkey that you could buy?
Did not see it. We have a Popeyes down the street, and trust me, being quarantined, it's not been a good combo for me. I've been going there too much. Yeah.
Well, you know what it is too, like those spicy chicken sandwiches, like they are good, but then like after you eat them, you're like, all right, I feel like super guilty, man. Like after yeah. But yeah, Nick Nack, it's been a while.
No, it's good to be back, man.
Yeah, it's again, we got so much to talk about, especially like with that latest episode of the Mandalorian. But have you picked up anything recently in terms of Star Wars?
You know what? I had a little bit of a spurt there with the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back. I picked up some of the Black Series stuff.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I picked up I reviewed them on my channel, but I picked up the big snow speeder, the big Black Series snow speeder. That was last summer. God, it's already December. I picked up I did get the Hot Toys vintage colored Boba Fett since I've talked to you last.
Okay.
Reviewed that. That's really cool. And you know what? The more and more I'm watching Mandalorian, the more I'm starting to maybe think I need to buy some shit from the Mandalorian. I don't know, man.
Really? I'm surprised you haven't bought anything.
Not yet, dude. Not yet, man. I'm coming. I'm coming over. You know what? I felt so burned. We've talked about it, man. We don't need to go over it. It's old hat. But I felt so burned by the sequels, and because I bought a few stuff. I bought some rather premium items from the sequels, and then I didn't want to own them anymore. So I got so burned by that I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to buy any more Disney Star Wars. Maybe I'll just stick to the the George Lucas, be a George Lucas purist. That was sort of my collecting focus. But I don't know, man. This season's been so good. I'm eyeballing a couple pieces. I really am. I may pull the trigger, including the Hot Toys child that you showed up there. Yeah, dude. I thought about getting the Sideshow one, but now that Hot Toys one, Holy shit! With the articulated mouth, and it comes with 2 sets of ears.
Yeah,
pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, for me, like, I'm getting both just because, I kind of like started like focusing like hardcore on Star Wars, especially on my channel. You know what, to be honest, like knick-knack, not to go back to like some of our some of the traumatizing moments, which is the sequels. You know, if the sequels never came out and I started my YouTube channel, I would probably be like be strictly like just Star Wars. That would be like my main focus in the channel. But I think after The Last Jedi, and this is when I first met Thor, was it during? Before
it was right before it came out.
Right before it came out. That was the first time like me and Thor got together and we started talking about Star Wars and Sith happens. And ever since that movie, obviously I kind of like went into hibernation with Star Wars. And that's when I started collecting some Marvel just to, fill my collecting void. But now like the Mandalorian really rekindled that my passion and love for Star Wars, that I'm back to collecting a whole bunch of Star Wars things. I mean, Vader knows, like Thor knows that now I'm just kind of like going crazy with the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, that show just really for me, especially, I binged watched a bunch of it. I know we're going to get more in depth into this in a little bit. Yeah. But I mean, I binge watched the entire second season up till the last episode with my wife over the weekend because she hadn't watched any of them yet. And and damn, man, it really just gives you the Star Wars feels that we haven't had in a long time.
Yeah. I totally agree with you, man. And can I say something? Is that like I bought the Art of the Mandalorian book, such a good book, just because Doug Chang. You guys know Doug Chang, right?
I know Doug. Dude, I have all kinds of stuff from him from episode 1, going back to the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, so he kind of did some of the stuff for the Art of the Mandalorian, which I'll pull it up right now, and it just kind of dives in deep into like how Jon Favreau got to being the producer for the Mandalorian. Such a good book. It's about like maybe $40 retail, but hey man, if you buy from Amazon, oh dude, like are you freaking kidding me? It's $26.
Pretty good.
That's really good for a $40 book. Yeah. And here it is. So it kind of shows you all the artwork, obviously, that you've seen on the show, plus more. But it kind of dives in deep into why Jon Favreau wanted to make The Mandalorian, and it kind of shows you how big of a fan he was as a kid, as growing up with Star Wars, and like all his inspiration. And he's been trying to get to try to make a Star Wars TV or movie. And yeah, I would say, man, like I really hope that at some point that he does start either producing or is the head of Lucasfilms, just because he's a fan. He's a fan like you and I. He even says it on the book even says it, that he actually, he was blown away when he went to the movies with his dad to watch Star Wars. And ever since then, he's been such a big Star Wars fan. And definitely highly recommend that book.
Looks great.
But any other pickups or
Star Wars wise? No, it's been pretty quiet, man. I've been back collecting some other IPs that I've been featuring on my channel, but no, I haven't been picking up a lot of Star Wars, but that's probably going to pick up here in the next couple of months, I think.
Okay,
for sure. Yeah.
Thor, what's going on, man? Any we got lots to talk about today, man. We got I know we kind of talked about it in the SithCast chat, but
my shirt came.
Oh, dude, that's the shirt that you're talking. Dude, that's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
Dude, that is nice.
Yep. So,
Yeah,
that's about it.
that's all the Star Wars pickups.
All the pickups.
Yeah,
Just waiting on stuff to come out. That's all.
yeah. No, I hear you, man. All right. So I was gonna address the chat real quick, and I'll do the giveaway announcement, which I hope you guys hope everyone likes it. To be honest, it's the holiday season, man, and I really wanted to do something nice for the viewers, for the subscribers and stuff like that, for the listeners. So I'll announce that in just a second, but I'm just gonna just address the chat. We got Aero Maestro in the house. I don't know, man. This comment right here, I don't know. I need to ban you from the. Nah, I'm just kidding, Arrow. I love Arrow. We got Danny Lee in the house. We got Darth Tabernac. What's going on, Darth? And who else is here? We got Papa Fett. Thanks for joining us. So,
over on my channel, Danny Lee is known as Danny the Ninja Lee.
Danny the Ninja Lee.
That's what we call him over on the Plastic Planet. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Danny, Aero Maestro, Darth Tabernac, and Papa Fett. Like, these guys have been like consistent with supporting not only my channel but Thor's and Knickknacks. So, really appreciate you guys tuning in. We got Marco S in the house. So, guys, I have the giveaway right here. And like I said, it's the holiday season. I just want to just kind of say thank you to everyone for listening, for always tuning in on the live streams and the shows, and also not only giving support to me, to the channel, to the podcast, but to giving support to my guests that come on, to Knickknacks Plastic Planet, to Thor DCX Open Mic, to Matt and Rogue 16. So I really appreciate it, and this nice little community that we have amongst friends. And dude, like I just did the review on this, which I'll put it on the YouTube channel. I really didn't want to give this away. I was like, before I opened up the box, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give this away. This is gonna be the giveaway for SithCast, the podcast. And I was like, all right, well, let me unbox it and kind of do a review on it so people kind of have an idea of like the giveaway. Dude, this thing is amazing. Right? Even though it's like a 1/8 scale statue, dude, first of all, it's heavy. It's heavy as hell. And look at the sculpt on this thing, man. This is made by Gentle Giant, which is now Diamond Select Toys, right? It retails for like $150. But dude, the only thing this is missing is the light features on the side. But I mean, you really don't need anything else to display this with. I mean, you can obviously you could get some of the like the Boba Fett or some of the Vader stuff if you wanted to. But if you want something to kind of put on your computer desk or something, this is a nice little like collectible to have. So really shocked with this thing because I feel like Gentle Giant and Diamond Select Toys, they're such an underrated company. A lot of people kind of go for the Hot Toys, the Sideshow, or whatever other companies out there that makes Star Wars. So I feel like Gentle Giant kind of flows under the radar, and they have a nice little following. So yeah, I am going to be giving this away. This is going to be I'm going to announce how to enter this giveaway in the Facebook group. But definitely one of the things that you have to do is definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, the SithCast podcast. Definitely be a member of the Scum and Villainy Facebook group. And you just got to comment in the giveaway announcement section on the Scum and Villainy Facebook group. Do that, and you are entered to win. This nice little giveaway. So I don't know. Knickknack, have you ever collected some of the Gentle Giant stuff?
Oh yeah. Gentle Giant was. I mean, now this was obviously I collected Gentle Giant like pre-Sideshow.
Yeah.
So that goes back, 20 years, maybe not quite 20 years, but at least 15. Yeah, I know. I've got a number of their older busts and a couple of their older statues. Gentle Giant makes good shit. My buddy Trav, who's a frequent guest, who's a panel member actually on my live stream. He's a big Gentle Giant collector. So yeah, he collects almost everything they put out Star Wars wise.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot of good stuff. And the one thing about the Gentle Giant, and which I love about them, is the fact that, dude, they don't care about like, okay, like, oh, let's just keep doing like Darth Maul's, Darth Vader's. They kind of do everything. And I'm just gonna pull up some of the stuff. Like they're doing a Asajj Ventress mini bust. This one I'm kind of iffy about. Like, this is the same like mini bust that they released before. Is that the only thing that's different is the pauldron, the right shoulder pauldron, which they changed it out to having the Beskar. The original one doesn't have the Beskar. It's just like a regular armored pauldron, which it's this one right here, right? So that one I'm kind of iffy about, but I mean, besides that, they do a lot of like other things, like they do Ahsoka, they do Mando, and dude, they're doing 000.
Yeah, look at that. He is awesome, man.
Yeah,
Love 000.
Yeah, that's again. That's another diamond in the rough as far as Disney Star Wars goes. But those characters, the BT whatever, BT 000, and what's the Astromech's name, whatever.
Yeah,
those are just classic, awesome, good new characters. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one has done Dr. Aphra.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I think I've seen her in some kind of premium genre, but I can't remember.
Yeah. So yeah, Diamond Select Toys, man, they do really awesome. I mean, this one they're doing. I guess this is from Squadrons Thor. I haven't finished playing the game.
That's one of them helmets you can get.
Okay.
Is that from a video game? I'm not familiar with that, with the red.
That's the Star Wars Squadrons. That it's a game on the consoles and the and the computer.
There you go. Okay.
Have you played X-Wing versus the X-Wing Alliance games back in the day?
Wow. Yeah, I played X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
On the old PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
So it's pretty similar to that, right? We do like fleet battles. Like we could be like the Empire going up against the Rebel, and it's like a back and forth situation. You're trying to take down their ships, and it's basically like Battleship.
Oh,
and so yeah, definitely actually, if you ever have a chance, come play with us, man. It's cross-platform, so you could pick up an Xbox and play like
nice
with some of the PC guys, and Thor plays on the PS4. I play on the PC, so
I got a PS4. So yeah, nice, very cool.
Yeah, and
cheap, it's only like $40.
Oh man, I'll pick it up now.
Yeah.
I think for the holidays, I think it might be cheaper than that now, Thor. Like I think I seen it go for like $20.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it went on sale.
Yeah. Nick Nack, you gotta come play with us, man.
Too, man. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some of the new announcements. Actually, there's actually some controversy with some of the new announcements. I'm gonna pull up first the 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the Iron Studios Mandalorian statue, which I think it looks phenomenal. Have you seen that, Nick Nack?
Pull it up and I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. You haven't seen it. Okay, gotcha. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe I have. I don't know.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. By the way, non-Star Wars related, I actually picked up the Thundercats by Iron Studios.
Nice.
Oh, I couldn't resist, man. Like when I saw that thing, I saw someone have like all the Thundercats displayed. I couldn't resist, so I should be.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, so here it is. Here is the Mandalorian statue by Iron Studios.
Yeah.
Nick Nack, I know you do collect some premium formats.
I do.
Is this something that you would consider picking up?
Possibly. I think before I would get this, I would be more interested in the Hot Toys quarter scale. I know that's not necessarily a statue, but it's still in the same kind of
course,
point ballpark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I've heard really good things about Iron Studios. I haven't seen too many of their pieces up close in person, but I've heard wonderful things about them. I mean, this statue's like Ellie McPherson. I wouldn't kick it out of bed. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But I don't tend to buy too many statues these days. I tend to go more action figure, but this is beautiful.
Yeah. Thor, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I like it. I think they need to just do a little work on that helmet. It looks kind of slender, you know what I mean? Kind of created. Other than that, looks good. I mean, they basically all the ones they've come out with pretty much look like the same. I think Disney probably wanted them to have him with Grogu in the and what do you call it?
The pram.
The pram, I keep forgetting that. Yeah. So yeah, I like it. I like it better than the Sideshow one. This one actually looks like metal. Like theirs is kind of gray. Like they did the same thing with Captain Phasma. They didn't really chrome it out that much. And but I like that piece, but it's not chrome. But like this one, I definitely prefer this one over the Sideshow one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, this is like a must for me. Just because I'm a huge Mandalorian fan, and B, I just like the pose of the statue. I love the base. Like I love this little the Mudhorn symbol here, or logo here in the bottom of the base. I love the
Stormtrooper helmet. Yeah,
the Stormtrooper helmet. I like how the pram is actually levitating. It's kind of like situated on this little rock piece here.
I'm sorry, PJ, not to interrupt you. What's that called again? The little eggshell he's in?
It's a pram.
A prem?
Pram.
P-R-A-M. Pram.
Pram.
Yeah.
Pram. Yeah.
I just thought it was the floating.
Floating stroller.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought it was. I didn't know it had a name. That's awesome. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, and I agree with Thor. I think they kind of have to work on the helmet, which Iron Studios, they're pretty known to kind of work on the things that collectors point out. Their Iron Studios Vader is probably one of the best Star Wars. Best Darth Vader statues ever made, in my opinion.
The best quarter scale one.
The better quarter scale one.
He's on. Is that the Hoth one that came out a couple years back?
The Hoth one, yeah.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful piece. Yeah.
And you know what, though? I remember when that piece first came out, right? And people actually hated that piece, right, Thor?
They were complaining about it. Looked like he was playing baseball and all this other crap.
Yeah.
I wasn't
right.
Really, that's okay. And then next thing you know, everybody's trying to get it.
And once it actually got released and people got theirs in hand, and people did reviews on them, they were like, "Oh my gosh! Like I need to get that piece." And guess how much it's selling for now? $1,200.
Yeah. What's my buddy Paul in the chat's wondering what the price point on this thing is.
They haven't said yet, I don't think.
They haven't said it
yet. Okay.
Yeah, but Thor, if you had to take a guess how much it's going to cost, how much do you think that piece is going to be?
I love playing
price point. Yeah,
it's about $750, something like that. Maybe eight tops, I guess. $750, $800.
Yeah, I think it's going to be $750. I think they're going to try and stay close to Sideshow's price point, because Sideshow's Mandalorian piece is, I would say it's $650, right? So
$1,
around $700, something like that, I guess.
Yeah. But let me just show you like the video on this piece, which I'm telling you guys, I love it. I love what Iron Studios are doing. So here they are. This is the live event that they had over the weekend. So here it is, guys. Oh my gosh. Like it's got a natural pose.
Oh, so you can switch it out. No, you can't. No.
Switch it what out?
I thought it was different pose before.
Oh no.
Switch out. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I think it's just a different angle, but man,
when they stage this shit up, man, a fern makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, does the fern come with the statue? Because I don't remember that. So
I don't know, man. I just said that's funny.
yeah, so everything about this piece is sculpted, right, Thor? Like,
It looks that way. Yeah.
yeah, even the bandolier, some of the stuff. Like, I love the textures on like the bandolier and the armor. Yeah. See, you ever see these things here? I wonder if they're like, like they're similar to Boba Fett's.
Are they little knee rockets?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That was way unexpected. I was like, whoa. It has knee rockets, bro.
Yeah. Well, you only read it about, like, I read about it in like the Star Wars encyclopedia or something, a dictionary, but I didn't think it was real. But to see that in like happen in the show was like pretty sick. See, the only problem I have is with the child, right? The child could use a little more touch up, right?
A little bit.
Like, because his eyes are like popping out. But I mean, obviously the main focus is on the Mandalorian. I think the child is just a side, just an extra. But yeah, man, I love this piece, and I think Iron Studios, from the live stream that they had over the weekend, it sounds like they're going to make more Star Wars pieces. It seems like they're going to explore the Mandalorian line, and I really hope that they're able to work something out where they could just make more like Star Wars pieces, Star Wars characters, like in terms of like original trilogy, prequels, or just whatever, because they done Yoda from Empire Strikes Back, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that they're able to tackle that, because obviously Sideshow owns the core scale license.
One thing, though, I don't know if they're gonna sell this on the Sideshow website, though.
Yeah,
Sideshow got their own Mando, and I don't think they want to sell this one on their site. Also, that might be the only trouble you're looking at.
Yeah.
They're selling both the Hot Toys and the Sideshow Child or Grogu, so life size. So who knows? But
yeah, I mean, they've done it before, and I'm wondering because I know Iron Studios has a concept store in New York, which I actually visited. So I wonder if they're going to maybe sell some there, or like kind of like ship a whole bunch over there and then like be able to distribute it out from that store.
You guys have all the good shit out east, man. Yeah, here in Denver, man. Here in Denver, if you want some cowboy boots, you're set. But we don't have.
Oh, come on, dude! You got like
y'all got Mile High.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you something. Mile High Comics is a really cool store. It is a cool store, but it is actually like some of the stuff they have in their giant warehouse store, they had in their satellite store the same merchandise like 15 years ago. If you're a comic guy, if you're a comic like total niche comic guy, maybe it'd be your Graceland. But I mean, for collectibles, it's not so great.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
I can believe
I haven't been there in like 2 years, but I'm serious. Like
comic wholesale kind of spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. If you're like if you want to go look for some, they've got probably every single comic book on the planet there, no doubt. But I mean, if you want to go, if you're like a collector, like especially if you like want to like any kind of high end stuff, they won't have, or they'll have very little of them.
Where's Order 66 toys?
I don't know.
Because I've seen them on Facebook, and they sell like some of the older like Star Wars stuff, like a lot of vintage, a lot of like 3 3/4 inch figures, 6-inch, premium formats, like the old Sideshow premium formats and stuff like that. I would like to visit that store because it's a dedicated Star Wars collection.
Cool. That would be cool.
Dude, that's my dream, man. Like to have like your own like Star Wars like collectible store. I'm pretty sure you're like living day to day. I don't know how much revenue you'd be generating when you're just having
generating a lot now.
Huh?
You're probably generating a lot now.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a really good point, especially now. Like a lot of like collectors are, right, Thor? Like,
I got people that I never even dreamed would collect Star Wars shit is collecting Star Wars shit. People hitting me up. I call them keyboard Jedis. They ain't never seen Rebels. They ain't never seen nothing, and give me theories as to who the Jedi gonna be to show up at the end of this fucking show. And then I ain't know, we were talking, and then next thing you know, oh yeah, I ain't watched Rebels. I'm like, well, how do you know that it's? Oh well, it just makes sense. So like, it don't make sense because both of these dudes that she's looking for are together. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that on your end, Knick-Knack. Like in terms of like a lot of like, there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there. That just came out of the woodwork, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I've noticed an increase or a decrease. I don't know.
I've noticed an increase in Star Wars fans, which is I'm not against,
right? It's a good thing.
Nothing. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. For me, like whenever I wear like my Boba Fett jacket to work.
Hey, it's Matt.
Hey, it's Matt. What's going on, man?
Hey, sorry.
Hello, Matthew. How are you, sir?
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
So for me, like when I wear my Star Wars jacket to work, dude, there's like all these like, it's like I'm like walking a little puppy dog in like the park, and all the girls are like flocking and asking, hey, like well, they're not asking obviously about me. They're like, hey, you watched the Mandalorian? I could see you're a Star Wars fan. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh my gosh, I love Baby Yoda. I love like watching that show. And like Thor said, they have like no idea like some of the other things or other movies that that occurred before this show. But it's a good thing, like they start doing research on like on some of the older like movies and TV shows. For me, like I don't know if you guys watch some of my live streams with Optical 20. Optical 20 is he's a new Star Wars fan. He's appreciated Star Wars, but after The Mandalorian, he loves Star Wars, and he's actually went back and watched some of the old like prequels, the Clone Wars, the Rebels. He's doing his research. He's listening to Star Wars theory. So yeah, it's some of the stories like that makes me pretty happy. But then we got the collectors that just right, Thor. We know someone that just.
We had a guy on Friday, like out of nowhere. This dude collects Prime 1 Batmans and Iron Studio 1/3 and Marvel, all that kind of stuff. The other day he hits me up. He said, dude, I got 400 Black Series figures. I'm like, what? He's going all around the room, and I'm like, who are you, man? Who are you?
I didn't know they made 400 Black Series figures.
I was like, and we talking about in weeks, like maybe 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He got all this shit.
Wow.
And I literally thought, I literally thought this is the Twilight Zone.
I
don't know who this guy is.
What did he turn around to get that stuff? Is he?
He sold all his DC quarter scale stuff, and he's selling a lot of his Marvel quarter scale stuff. And it's like, I'm like, bro, this is crazy. He went out and bought Chewbacca premium for me. Like some of them premium for us, he buys a little kind of stuff I wouldn't get, but he got the Luke one and the Han one, and he didn't get Obi-Wan yet. And I was telling him, I said, bro, you need to get the XM one. Nah, I already got this. I said, okay, well, you like it, so be it. But he just bought a whole rack of shit. And then he wants me, and then they got a pre-order coming this Saturday. He wants me to help him with. I'm like, all right, bro.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cool shit, Matt. I never noticed that. The shelf behind you. Holy shit, that's beautiful.
Which one?
Just right behind you with the helmet.
And this one?
No.
Yeah. I don't.
He has just
recently. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've adjusted a couple things here and there. Yeah, listen. It's crazy, man. That my collection shifted quite a bit. Since
Yeah.
I started.
Actually, the last time we had Knick-Knack on the show was probably last year, and that's probably like I don't know when's the last time you saw Matt's collection.
Yeah, it's been
Well, I think I've seen you on Facebook a few times. I think I've noticed it, but I've never been able to compliment you on it in person.
No, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. It's coming along. I've got to soak every bit of space I can out of this. This room is not very big, so it is what it is, man. I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt. Thanks for joining. So,
yeah,
any recent pickups you got in the past week since we last talked?
No, I've got a decent size Christmas thing I'm going after though. I don't want to say anything about it yet because I just don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but it's pretty decent size. So I'm
Christmas tree, you said, or
no, a Christmas thing, like a gift for myself.
I was like a Christmas, like one of those blow up decorations.
Yeah, it's anyway, it's not a big deal. So I'm kind of working towards something like getting something like that. So I'm gonna sell a couple of things here and there, and I've kind of been digging around, finding some other things I can pawn off. So I got to do some of that kind of stuff, and then pick this thing up, and then and of course it's Star Wars related, which is fantastic. But but otherwise, yeah, man, like nothing. I don't think anything, which has been really nice. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, there's not a lot going on. I mean, I know RS is sending some stuff out here and there, so we will be getting a couple things coming in, I think. So that's cool. But
yeah, I think you just missed us talking about this this beautiful piece that's going to be bestowing upon us, hopefully sometime soon with a pre-order. So
yeah, it looks really nice. Hopefully they fix the helmet a little bit, and maybe there's a couple things that could get adjusted, but that's overall it's really, really pretty. I love how like they don't put out a lot of quarter scale stuff, so when they do, it's like special. I kind of like that, and yeah, I'm happy they're doing this, man. And I think I have the NYC version. I really like it, and I think I'll still probably get this because I think they could complement each other.
Look kind of similar, don't you think?
They do. They look very similar, but I'm kind of okay with that. Like I think they look very similar, but one's Beskar, one's not. I can have the baby with one of them and one without, which is kind of the NYC has the one without. So yeah. It's really pretty. I don't know for sure if I'm going to go for it, but I'm leaning towards it pretty heavily because I love that it matches the Iron Studios Vader base. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They put the button on there too.
Yeah, I like that.
On the front, yeah.
So it's pretty. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I was telling them this is like Iron Studios. I think they're getting ramped, like according to the live stream. I think they're getting ready to ramp it up with some Star Wars releases in 2021. So
That's crazy.
So I just really because they were like, okay, so here's a preview during the live stream. They were like, okay, guys, so here's a preview of the things that's going to be coming in terms of Star Wars to Iron Studios, right? And they show a whole bunch of clips with some of the old trilogy and the Mandalorian stuff. They showed Ahsoka. So I'm wondering if they're gonna do like an Ahsoka statue based off Rosario Dawson.
I mean, you'd think so, right?
So
many people would buy that. Like I just don't, unless there's something going on with the license. Maybe it's like it's hard, Star Wars license hard enough to get. Maybe it's even harder to get be able to do Ahsoka. But from what I understand, once you get the Star Wars license, as long as they approve something,
yeah,
you know what I think it was? I think they were waiting for her to come on this show.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna make a piece.
And then they do something.
They want to keep her kind of hush hush. Now
you're right, Thor. Which that said, they might already have something. I'm sure all these companies already have something in the can, right?
Yeah. I think.
Which, by the way, that's the worst kept secret.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I'm not saying it was. I just think they wanted to keep
which
her likeness under wraps until she came on the show.
And that's why I meant like we knew Ahsoka and Boba were coming, but we just didn't know how they were gonna look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like how
that seal's broken now. It's gonna be a deluge.
Yeah. I kind of agree.
I mean, we're getting like a whole bunch.
It needs to happen. It needs to happen with Ahsoka, though. I was talking to it's either Jason or Chris or someone the other day, and I was like, I was like, do you remember when like we really didn't have a whole lot? Like if you look behind me, these two shelves have encompassed like a lot of the Star Wars, like better Star Wars pieces that have come out over the past like little bit. Like there's not really that many pieces to go after. I mean, I'm missing XM Boba Fett and XM Maul and some of those big pieces, but like there wasn't a whole lot to go after. And I think all of a sudden, if you look at Hot Toys, look how many Hot Toys are coming out. Dude. Like it's gonna explode. Dude, I'm a little bit concerned.
They added more this last episode.
What's that?
They added. There's probably some coming from this last episode.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see if RS Props kind of tackles the new Boba Fett helmet, or even some of the other helmet companies.
Yeah.
I mean, because even though that helmet is very, very worn out and weathered and damaged, it still looks good.
It's still cool. I would love to know, because a lot of times we're finding out that they're using stuff from like Regal Robot or like Zorg. That Zorg, CZ3 head was used in one of the Mandalorian episodes, and then they have we find out that EFX helmets are being used, and like I wonder for Boba Fett what they're using. Like if they're using something they casted from the original, or if it's like someone's version of that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's always interesting to know how they're going about it. But
yeah,
I think it looks cool.
I think it looks cool too. Because for me, like when you saw it on Cobb Vance, like he looked cool,
but he looked like a chump.
But he looked like he had like a sweater underneath. Like he was wearing a sweater and then he's wearing the Boba Fett armor.
He was cosplaying as Boba Fett.
Yeah, it's like
exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was like, it's like a dad at home. He's wearing his sweater and he's like, I'm gonna throw on like the Boba Fett armor, and that's how he looked.
What's funny is they were obviously getting us ready for like a bigger Boba Fett, like a more filled in Boba Fett, because like Cobb Vanth looked like he was tiny in that thing. Like it really did look like it was kind of loose and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just pretty funny, but yeah, I think I really like the look. I hope it gets even closer to this Mythos Boba Fett look. I think that'd be really cool, but
which we'll tackle when we start talking about the episode. Right. I have some little insider info.
Oh, cool.
Again, like the guy that's been kind of like giving me this info has been
pretty spot on.
I've been pretty spot on. I think I've been talking about Boba Fett since even before the show even started.
It's really cool.
I've been telling you guys, like, as soon as Matt bought the Mythos Boba, I think he got it for like a really good price.
It was pretty good, yeah.
Brand new too, correct?
Yeah, right, correct, yeah.
I was even thinking about it the other day. I was like, oh man, like I'm never ever gonna get this piece. Like I'm never gonna get this piece.
You know what's good though, PJ, about statues that I learned throughout this whole process. I'm always thinking like, oh, I want to get this thing. I want to get a new version of this, right? The more I've done this, the more I figure out like it's probably better to get something isn't broken, 100% not broken.
Yeah.
That's been sitting on someone's shelf and they can get it to you, versus if you get a brand new box that no one's opened, who knows what the thing's going to look like. And it's not like you can get to replace it, right? So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you, because that's how I felt when I got the Mythos Vader, because the guy that sold it to me was like, oh, this is brand new. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to check it. I'm not going to open it. If you open it, then the guy's like, well, now it's used. You got to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, and then I'm like, okay, but there's a little piece that's broken. He's like, nope, you opened it. It was brand new. No, it's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a risk that you're, it's like getting anything from Sideshow or any company. You're taking a risk of not just like the box, but just like what it went through to get to you.
Of course.
UPS or whatever, any delivery.
Well, especially the older ones, right? You can't get a replacement. Like there's no way to get them to do anything about it anymore. So you're kind of stuck. So
yeah, I mean, like the General Grievous I got, I was making sure I'm picking it up and making sure.
Yeah,
because that thing is going to break if someone ships it. So
that's like XM Mall. You have to pick that thing up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, XM stuff. So Spec Fiction Shop, I'm not trying to advertise them, but I just thought this was really, really dangerous. And I wonder if a lot of companies are going to go through to this route where they do like an afterpay. Have you guys done that before? Knick-Knack, have you done anything like an afterpay with any of some of the retailers or the vendors out there?
No, I haven't.
You talking about like a Klarna or like something like that, or
yeah? So you kind of like buy the product, and it automatically puts you on a payment plan. You're gonna get the product, but it gives you like it takes your it asks for your debit card or your bank account, and every couple weeks it will take a whole chunk of money out of your bank account until you pay it off. I mean, 0% finance. It's no fine, no.
Yeah. Right.
So, I think I
just want more people to buy stuff.
Yeah, well, that's
incentivize them, right?
Well, for Black Friday, that's how I bought another Roomba, right? So I think Bed Bath and Beyond had an afterpay.
Yeah,
and I bought I was like, it was on sale. It was a couple $100 off.
Yeah,
so I bought it, and then there had an afterpay option. I'm like, what the hell is this afterpay?
Yeah. So
I checked it out, and it's it breaks up your payments into 4 different payments. So it'll charge you $130 the first a deposit, and then every couple weeks it takes a whole bunch of money until you pay it off. So Spec Fiction Shop has started that with, it's called Bread.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm like, that's freaking dangerous in terms of collectibles. Imagine there's
I think they have, don't they have? Because I think Bread, I think I've seen this. Don't they have 6 months no interest?
Yeah,
and then they have 12 months with a certain amount of interest, 24 months with a certain amount of interest. So you can really spread stuff out. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's dangerous because
it is dangerous.
I remember I have a friend of mine, he would that's how he actually got better credit, was because he'd be like, hey guys, I got 0% financing on PayPal. Do you guys want something? Because put it on me and just pay me every month. And it was he was the creditor.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure. I guess I want that piece. He's like, all right, come on, let's all put an order in, and then just pay me till you pay it off. It's 0% financing for 12 months. How could you beat that? And I'm like, dude, and I stopped at some point. I'm like, dude, stop it. You're dangerous. I don't want to buy. I don't want to buy anything else.
Anymore. Well, the hard part about that stuff is it does help you get into some pieces that you might not otherwise be able to get into, but it also incentivizes you to spend the money that maybe you shouldn't, or maybe you should just, it makes you think less about your purchase, right? And just kind of go with what you're feeling at the moment, which is always not a good idea.
Oh, dude, it's dangerous. I'm like, if I didn't have XM Mall and that option came to be, dude, I'm buying that XM Mall just because, dude, it's Boba Fett is dude, did you see Sideshow sold out of their Mythos Boba?
Yeah,
or they got waitlisted in a day. Can you imagine?
I believe it.
Can you imagine how many? Because that Boba Fett sucks. In my opinion, that figure kind of sucks. No offense to anybody that picked it up.
Yeah,
I just think it's not the figure itself that sucks. I just think the body that they use, it sucks. And then Knick-Knack, I don't know if you could chime in on some of that. I don't know. Did you pick up that Mythos Boba or not?
No, I didn't. The 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. It was back up this weekend. I thought about it. I really did.
It went back up? I thought you got waitlisted.
I thought it was back up.
It was. I think it was up for a minute and then went back out. I think. I'm not sure.
I lost already on that one, but it looks really cool. I don't have that one. No, I have the Mythos Obi one, which is awesome. but not the Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Mythos Obi-Wan is a lot better than the Mythos Boba, because I've seen people with that Mythos Boba and it kind of sucks. Oh, by the way, Matt, like we forgot to talk about like this art print that we picked up.
Oh yeah, I got this one. Yeah.
Ooh,
I wasn't actually, I was thinking of not getting this one, and then I looked at my other one.
Mhm.
You know, that orange one that he made, the same guy made it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, these would look really good next to each other, or like near each other, because one's like really orange and one's really blue. And just kind of cool, like contrast. It's just really cool looking.
Yeah. See,
like
I picked it up just because I don't have, obviously this is a Mythos mall. I'm not Mythos, sorry, Mythos Boba. And I was like, well, I don't have a Mythos Boba, but I think this will pair up well with my my XM
it doesn't
XM
look Mythos though.
Is this talking about the artist? What's the last name? Vandersloot or something?
Yeah, Vanter Stealth.
Yeah, sorry, I totally butchered his name, but yeah, he does such amazing shit.
It does. The other Boba he did was really nice. I'm excited for this one. I actually got.
Was the other one the Boba Fett where it looks like he's kind of scouting out the Falcon landing on Bespin?
The Bespin?
I thought it was.
There's one where he's like on a cliff and he's looking out, and it's all like very orange, and it wasn't very long ago that he had it up.
I remember. I thought it was maybe it was a different artist that did this one. I thought it was a Boba Fett, and he's on Bespin, and he's scouting out the Falcon down on the landing pad.
Okay, I
don't know from a tower from afar.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Knick-Knack. I've seen that. It's like I know what you're talking about.
It may not be the same artist. I may be confused.
No, yeah, I don't know if it's the same artist, but I know what you're talking about. And then that one sold out a while ago. Yeah, but this one looks great, man. This is supposed to be on top of Camino.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You know,
I don't know really why this is Mythos necessarily, other than them just like saying it is. Like whatever, it's cool. I like it. It's gonna look really nice with that other piece, I think. So
yeah.
And I got them both framed black. I got a black frame for this one.
That must be beautiful. I need to update some of the artwork in my main Star Wars display room. It's dated.
Yeah.
What's dated? What do you have in there now?
Oh, I just have mostly just 90% of it are classic movie posters.
Yeah.
Movie posters 1 through 6. You know, the theatricals.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, I've got some shit from Hobby Lobby. You know, that kind of You know, it's good stuff, but you know,
it's still
cool. They are good stuff, especially for the price point. It's pretty good. Yeah. So this one, I was actually thinking about you, Matt. I'm like, first when I clicked on it, it was in Gigli or Gigli on canvas, and I'm like, oh man, this would look nice in canvas, but it's so damn expensive. And I'm like, well, let me check it out and as soon as I clicked on the Gigli on paper, like the black frame popped up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick it up.
It's nice price though. I mean, because it's all matted, right? It's matted.
Yeah, matted. Yeah.
Nice frame. That's a good price. I mean,
very good price. It's a very good price.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about like, you know, like some of the art prints I picked up. I haven't framed some of them yet. So a lot of them are on my my portfolio book.
Yeah.
But I'm like, let me just freaking frame this, because I'm gonna be lazy and not frame, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna get it and not frame it. You know,
very nice. And the other one, I had the other one framed as well, and with Sideshow, and it has the orange line around it. So this one's gonna have the blue. It's just really, they're gonna look really nice next to each other. So I've got a hallway where my wife lets me just put a bunch of Star Wars shit up. So I'm kind of slowly putting things on the wall, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty cool.
All right, so let's move on to other things, which I think this might be a little controversial. I think
controversy.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, so I mean, we haven't touched upon it yet. So, so here it is. The Mobster. So Mobster was announced on Mando Monday.
Yep.
and I know this wasn't received too well.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of collectors, and I don't know. I think I just like the fact that Sideshow is just kind of giving us like
Something.
Something. They're not.
How does this cape connect in the show? I don't understand what's going on here. I don't get it.
I think it's
coming out from under his armor.
Straps there. I think it's a hook, and it connects to those, I believe.
Okay, because I don't really know what I'm looking at. Like, how is this thing staying on his shoulders? Like, it's crazy. I again, I'll say this for the 1,000th time. Somebody at Sideshow needs to be shot for posing these capes the way they're posing them. I really think that they could look better. I think Obi-Wan Mythos could have looked better had they posed it nicer in a nicer way. When they did the original or the SDCC or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah. Does it have a wire frame? I mean, maybe it's just the production still.
I think so. It looks like it.
If it has a wire frame, you should be able to pose it yourself.
No, you will be able to. You'll be able to make it look better. I'm just saying it's their job to sell their pieces, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
This is their job, and so they need to do the best they can to sell the pieces.
I agree. It's not an attractive drape. If that's
no, it's not, and that's what made me like. I originally was like, man, like when I first laid eyes on this thing, I was like, that cape does not look good to me. Like it really feels cheap to me, like that. But I think in person, when you sit down and actually played with this thing, it probably would do a lot better.
Yeah, you can see some of the textures here on this cape right there. Yeah. I mean, there is some texture. It's not just like, like just a black and red cape, Yeah. And no, I agree. I agree with you, Matt. I think Sideshow has done it multiple times to themselves, and again, I don't know. Like, I think the quality of their pictures went down. Like, who's taking these pictures?
I don't know, but you know what's tough though is if you look close at his clothing. Mm-hmm. The tough part is like I always compare this to either pieces that I have or even custom pieces and some other pieces I've seen people put out like Prime One, Sideshow themselves. Everyone that's doing stuff lately is putting texture in clothing and texture in, like shirts and pants and like everything has a bit of texture, like it's like real kind of a thing. This doesn't look like that. I don't know why, but the recent premium formats just don't have that. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's because we're not seeing it close enough. Maybe it does. I don't know. It just looks a little
away from just a step away from the soft goods for a second. Let's talk about that blade, that lightsaber. This is something that's really bothered me with Sideshow as of late. Is there any kind of light up feature on that at all?
Probably not.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I have the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader Sideshow premium format. That's the last major premium format I purchased personally, and it's got an amazing, nice, consistent LED beam through the lightsaber, except for the tip. There's a little point at the tip, but we're not going to be too judgy. And it's got an AC adapter. It plugs into the wall, and then the next piece I got was the premium format Luke Skywalker Empire Strikes Back. No AC adapter, runs off batteries, which sucks. The lightsaber turns on at the point, not at a general button, and the beam isn't as bright. And again, it doesn't plug in. And then I saw they came out with the Obi-Wan more recently, the new version of Obi-Wan from A New Hope, and the lightsaber doesn't light up at all. And again, the price point's not going down on these items. I mean, it's just kind of that's what grinds my gears a little bit. Is I feel like QC and the features themselves are getting negated while the price point's staying the same.
Well, yeah, look at the premium format Darth Maul from them, or premium format Shaak Ti, right? Those are really really nice, and they have the lightsabers are really nice. Like, they light up really well, and like, so yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. It's interesting. It almost feels like these current premium formats are a new start for them. Like, they're kind of starting that premium format line over again after taking a break. And this is kind of where they're going, and I'm personally not very excited about where they're going with their premium format line. Like, I think they can and should be doing better. But I think I'm more excited for their Mythos line personally. So
the new motto for their premium format line is less for the same price.
yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Thor, what's your thoughts on this piece, man?
I really, 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 really wanted this to work out, and I would like it, you know what I mean? But it just, the pose really destroys this piece for me. I think him, because I went back and actually watched the scene, and at no point did he have like a hunch like this. Like, I think if even the subtle changes would have made this so much better. I think he should have been like standing erect, or once, like they could have had him actually walking out of the cockpit, or the hole that he cut out and everything.
Yeah.
And because he had kind of and he was like he was kind of surveying everything to see who he shot him down was still around and everything. Mm-hmm. And I think that he should have pointed like Vader pose, have him pointing the lightsaber down, because that's like the ready position. Mm-hmm. This is more of an attack kind of position. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think kind of head to the side kind of thing, and not this snarl that he has, because he has kind of a smirk all the time, but like sort of a more focused facial expression, would have did wonders for me. Like, even, I think, we could have got away with, Matt, I agree with you. Some of the stuff looks kind of shiny-ish, kind of like for the clothes, because he doesn't look this shiny on the show. I actually like the chest piece, that he has on. But it's just, and I think one thing that bothers me too is, we know it's a TIE fighter that he's standing on, but like, I think for the normal people, if you look at it, they have to, what is that he's standing on? For a while, they'd have to take a look at it for a minute and figure, like, maybe even go around the back and see the hatch on it, and like, oh, that's a TIE fighter.
It took me a second, honestly, to figure out that.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So
it took Nick Nack a sec, and he's
seriously, I just we reviewed this piece on my live stream over, not just shameless promotion, but we reviewed this piece over on Nick Nack Live on my channel on Nick Nack's Plastic Planet. My whole panel, we do a segment called Buy Squad or Pass, where we go through a number of different kinds of items, and we discussed this piece, and this was a firm pass for my entire panel. Just because Moff Gideon is, for the price point of a premium format, just isn't that big of a character yet.
Sure.
That was probably the biggest thing, but also the pose. Going back to what Thor was saying, the pose, he kind of looks like a pirate. I mean, it looks like he's like climbing over a shipwreck, like a swashbuckler.
A little bit.
Yeah,
and that would. You're right. I mean, that because he's got a sword like that, you do have to be careful, right? You can't. You don't want him to look like a pirate. You don't want him to look like.
I'm not trying to throw shade, but he just looked like a pirate, man.
No, I hear you. My big thing is I'll say this, and I don't mean to offend anybody that likes anything, right? I don't want to do that, but I will say that this to me feels more like Gentle Giant than it does Sideshow, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I'm not a big fan of, I don't like Gentle Giant stuff as much. I do think they come out with good stuff, but it's also just not my, it's not my, I don't like it for some reason. And this kind of feels more that way to me. Like it kind of has a little bit of a, like you said, Thor, a little bit of like a plasticky look that I think they could have gotten rid of with like some texture,
Even his face kind of looks a little plastic.
Yeah, just like a little weathering or texture. I don't know what it is, man.
So I'm hoping that Iron Studios takes a stab at this guy.
Oh yeah, sure. I wonder if they would do that.
They show Mando. I'm like, okay, because I've always been a fan of Juan Carlo. All the way back.
Oh yeah, of course.
I've always liked him, and so when I saw him in last season, I said, "Oh, they got him." So that really got me excited. So
Damn, I wonder how deep.
Fingers crossed. I'm hoping.
I wonder how deep Iron Studios would have to go to really get this guy out there. Like how many. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't know if they would go that far.
Yeah, like with how many people they have to go through to get the piece out. Right.
Yeah, I just don't. I wonder if because honestly, I was kind of surprised Sideshow did it. you know, before like, I don't know, a grief karka, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's fine, but they also might know something we don't know. That
I think the thing about it is, you know, it's just like David Prowse said. He said people remember villains.
Yeah, true.
So that's why I think usually, you're going to get the villain.
This was also a huge moment at the end of that season. It was really big. It was really big.
Yeah. All right. So I'm probably going to be like a little bit different from everyone in terms of the piece itself. And I'm just going to share some pictures. And I totally very good criticisms and stuff with what you guys have said with the piece.
That would have been killer.
That would have been a killer pose right there.
Yeah, that's the money shot right there.
The last pose. The last one would have been amazing. Go to that last picture, PG.
Or is that
this one?
That would have been a killer pose.
The cake flying in. Oh my god.
Yeah,
that would have been cold as ice.
Yeah, and so here's my thing, and you know, and when I say this, I say it from experience with just being on record in bashing Sideshow. You know, ever since I've been collecting premium formats, hot toys, I've always went. I don't know if anyone has gone on Sideshow Freaks. If you go to Sideshow Freaks, it's like going to hell. Literally like going to hell. Like, I'm telling you, all types of toxic collectors like dwell in that form.
Do you still go somewhere? Do you still look around there?
I try not to, because Facebook is more than enough.
Yeah,
the Facebook groups, you just go on like one Facebook group, and that's more than enough for maybe one week.
Yeah, sure.
So for me, I've always seen the toxicity, and I joined the toxicity of like some of the fans, and I've eaten my words before. And the reason why I try not to, especially nowadays, is I try not to trash figures or statues too much, just because someone might have it, A, like someone you know might have it, or B, it's just that, especially with some of the prototype pictures, I think sometimes that like the final production pictures might come out better, right? Or final production piece might come out better. And for example, and I refer back to Iron Studios Vader, Thor, you've been there. How many people trashed that? How many people trashed that piece?
They did.
They did. And was that piece sold out before it got released? Hell no.
No, it wasn't.
Hell no. Guess what happens? People got it in hand, sold out in 1 week. Sold out in 1 week. Now it's going for like $1,200. Another example is Rogue Premium Format maquette, or Rogue maquette, right? So with the Rogue maquette, how many people trashed that piece? Oh, it looks like Fergie. Oh, Fergie-licious. Oh, look at that. What? Oh, look at that. Look at that. The physics of that statue. That's going to lean. Guess what? That portrait that people made fun of is going for $600 just for the portrait alone. So I'm not saying this piece is perfect. I am absolutely far from that. I think there is some things that it needs to improve on. And I really blame Sideshow for not capitalizing on this franchise right now when it's hot. Not employing or deploying some of your top artists or sculptors to start tackling the franchise. Start having Daniel Bell.
Bingo! I was about to say that. Where Daniel Bell at now?
Will Harbottle. You know, Martin Canal. I know they do.
That's exactly the point, right? Is that we all know Sideshow can do better. It's that's the problem. Sideshow's so good. It's not that Sideshow's bad. They're not. They're really, really good at making stuff. It's just why can't they put the effort that we know that they can put into a Colossus or a freaking whatever.
All
exactly.
That shit.
Like
Yeah,
Do
but
that shit for us. That's what we're trying to say.
no, I hear you. I'm with you guys 120%. For me, in terms of in terms of critiquing a piece on a not even just a final production piece, definitely, excuse me, have at it. If you see something that like, whoa, that piece didn't come out right, like what the hell. But I think it's right as of right now, just because I learned my lessons from the past. Again, like, Matt, I don't know if you were there when I said it, like, Iron Studios Vader. Iron Studios Vader got the most criticism before he came out. And Thor would tell you, people's like, oh, well, look at him. Look at that pose. He's like, is he going to like hit something with the bat? What's wrong with that? Look, why does he walk so weird? And guess what? That piece is like $1,200 and people are dying to get that piece.
Which piece again? Which piece?
Iron Studios Vader?
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, obviously, what's really hurting Sideshow right now is that old premium format line. Just with some of the pieces that they released from there, I think there's a lot of misses from that line that could have been better. And Nick Nack kind of pointed it out, like some of the lighter features on that Obi-Wan. I pointed out with the Obi-Wan, I felt that it shouldn't be PVC head. Things like that, criticism. I just feel like I just say, okay, just hold on to like super criticizing just the final the prototype. Let's just wait. That's just me. Like, I'd like to wait until people get it in hand, or we see the final production piece. Like, look at that the Emperor Palpatine. It didn't look good. The prototype didn't look that good, but I think the final production piece turned out better than the prototype, in my opinion. Again, I just one of those things. Like, I know, especially I've seen some of it on some of the Facebook groups where it's just like a gang mentality. When someone goes, oh, look at this, and then someone goes, oh, look at that, and look at this, and I missed out on many pieces because I joined in on some of that gang mentality. Like, I'm not gonna get that piece. Like, F that. And guess what? It sells out. Yeah. I just say, like, hey, I know, like, everyone has opinion and you're entitled to your opinion. I just say, let's just not like super criticize a piece until we know like, look at the child. That child, even before it came out, got so much criticism, so much.
Sure.
And now it's like people are dying of waiting to get that piece in their collection. And I think even Zach from Collecting Weekly even said it himself. Like, he ate his words and said, I made a mistake by calling this piece out. But again, to your point, Sideshow doesn't help themselves with their pictures, with some of their choices that they make.
No, they
like
don't.
Pose.
And that said, PJ, like, I'm down for like restraining a little bit and saying, hey, let's be careful a little bit how far we go with talking about some of these pieces and not, saying we don't like this or that, whatever. But like, the problem is that Star Wars in general, right? There's people all over the place that, there's people that criticize the Mandalorian, they criticize the sequels.
Oh, dude.
So I'm just saying it's everywhere, and it's not just. And so that's the hard part, is that when I hear you say that, I'm like, yeah, that would be a nice place to live. I just don't think we live in that reality. Like, I think people are going to say what they want to say about.
Of course. And what
they do it, whether it's licensed or unlicensed or whatever it is. I hear it all the time. And I hear what you're saying, though, that if you can not add to that, then that's at least something that's helpful in that sense.
Well,
I can appreciate that.
I just think in a platform like where we are right now,
yeah, totally.
Everyone here has a channel.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to add to that. Maybe let's just be like like play devil's advocate. Like for me,
hang on. I mean, for every Moff Gideon, I mean, how long I've been sitting here waiting a year getting hyped for these Royal Guards that Sideshow is making.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm attacking Sideshow. It's just that's just a piece for me. You know what I mean? I feel what you're saying. I'm just saying, but I'm still advocating. I'm like, dude, I can't wait till these guards come out.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, I'm trying as a collector.
I hear you.
just in general, just because, man, like I've been wrong so many times. I don't want to be wrong anymore. Yo, Thor, like you know, and the person that I have to attribute this to is like commend is like a Tim, because he's the one that used to say, why are you criticizing like this piece? Have you really like looked at it, or is it just because I'm joining in that gang mentality, like, oh, I gotta hate in this piece? Like I always say, like when someone asks me for my opinion, I'm like, hey man, that piece is not for me. That's not saying that it is not for you too. You make your own decision on how you want to, but I'm not gonna go, ah, that looks like shit. You know, that I will never. I'll try not to say that as much as I can, as much as I can. But and I don't know. I'm just trying to be a little, I don't know, less opinionated with some of this thing. Like I don't know, just not to add too much into the negativity as we see in some of the Facebook groups, because it's discouraging, especially if you are looking to get that piece, right? Like if I'm looking to get this piece and I go, oh shit, no one likes this piece. Why am I gonna get? I don't know.
But
like you're like,
and you can say that every piece. You know what I mean? It's pieces out there that people think are grails that I think are garbage. But I don't say nothing because they
and that's great. You don't say anything. Yeah, you let them enjoy that piece.
Yeah.
I don't know, Nick Nack, what's your thoughts on
Yeah, man, you know what? It's as the saying goes, opinions and assholes. It's all relative, right? I mean, yeah, I'm a long time forum member over on, like you were mentioning, Sideshow Freaks. I've been over there since 2007.
Yeah.
My
Dude,
handle.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I do. My handle over there is which actually was sort of the inspiration to some of the stuff I put on my YouTube channel, was plastic crap money waster was my handle over there. And when I would post in the forums, people took that handle personally, like I was attacking them. Like, no, it's a joke. It's a joke. So no, I mean, I get what you're saying. And if you buy something, if you're buying something and you bought something and there's a great deal of, people shitting all over it. It does kind of sucks. But I mean, I think over the years, I've just kind of gotten really numb to that,
Yeah.
Especially running my own YouTube channel. I'll show off pieces on my channel that I personally really, really love. And, some of my subscribers will not necessarily bash it, but just say, oh, I don't like it, or blah, blah, blah. And, there was a time when I would kind of get, a time before I did a YouTube channel, that I would get kind of offended by that. Now,
and I accept constructive criticism. What I don't accept is it looks like shit. Well, can you tell me why it looks like shit?
Yeah.
It just looks like shit.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, can you be a little bit more specific? Well, and what you guys have brought up are perfect. Like, what Thor has mentioned. Oh, I wish it could have been this, him flowing with the cape. That's perfect. Not like, oh, look at his face. Looks like crap. Like it looks, this and that. Or look at that cape. What the fuck is he? What is that?
I mean, it's like if you're offering a critique to any medium, whether it's an action figure, a TV show, a movie, a piece of art. It's if you're gonna there's a difference between constructive and non-constructive criticism, and like you just outlined that pretty much more better than I could. I mean, as far as like something is if something just looks like shit, that's unconstructive. But if you point out why you don't like it, what bothers you about it, what works, what doesn't, that's a totally different thing.
Yeah, and that's just like me. Like I could tell you, like I could probably write you an essay on why I don't like The Last Jedi. Stuff like that. Like, but like for me to go, I hate The Last Jedi because it's shit, or I hate The Mandalorian because it's shit. Well, tell me why. I just think it's shit. I don't like the characters. Well, okay, that's not really anything. Like you're just. And yeah, that's just the thing I'm just trying to say is that, like, okay, this Moff Gideon, it could have been done better. I think it's not as bad as people say it is. I think the portrait, I think it's not bad. It could have been better, yes. But I think it's not bad. The pose could have definitely be better, but I see what they were trying to achieve. And the cape, it's hard to tell with this lighting of, again, I know people's like, well, you always go back to the lighting. Well, it's a dark background with a dark cape. So it's hard to tell if there's any textures on this thing. It just looks like a, I don't know, like a blanket. I don't know.
To Matt's point earlier, it's just not a good production pick. I don't think, personally.
I don't think so either. Especially when this picture right here was the first thing that we saw. I mean, what is this picture? Like his eyes looks like he's like the Terminator, you know. And I don't know. Well, I don't know. For me, I gotta see more pictures. Hopefully Sideshow does improve on it. I think in the Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group, it's gotten a lot of criticism. So hopefully that is like a signal for Sideshow to go, hey guys, you know what? Since this is not coming out for, let's see when this is coming out. This is coming out till what the hell? Oh yeah, December 2021. So over a year and a half, they have a lot of time to improve on this piece. So we shall see. Yeah. If they don't, well, shame on them for not doing so.
I gotta tell you, I am in kind of, and a lot of people might not agree with me on this sentiment, but I am enjoying some of those long, stretched out release dates on some of these pieces. I pre-ordered the Hot Toys Luke Skywalker in X-wing or Snowspeeder.
Snowspeeder Luke, yeah.
I have the Sideshow one too, but I'm a kind of a completist when it comes to Luke. And I noticed it doesn't come out till like the spring of 2022, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna pre-order it now. I'm not even gonna worry about this thing. You know, it's not gonna affect what I buy in the next 6 months to 8 months to a year. So it's kind of nice.
I know it's crazy. A lot of this release dates are pretty long.
Really drawn out than they ever have been, I think.
Yeah, and just one more topic I do want to talk about before we dive into the Mandalorian spoiler talk. So Queen Studios, this is probably like non-Star Wars related, but they kind of announced some new statues that they're making, or new franchises that they have acquired. So, Nick Nack, are you familiar with Queen Studios?
I've heard of them, but I'm not like. You got to show me
behind you, PJ.
I'm sorry.
Show them what they make.
So right there, this.
Okay.
So they make a lot of like pretty realistic like bust and collectibles and statues, right? Like I'm talking about, this is like Hot Toys quality in statue form. And I was just gonna show you their website, and they do like pretty awesome work, right? They're pretty lifelike, and so anyway, they announced some new lines that they picked up, which is, I think they got the Matrix line, which is crazy. And they also picked up the Lord of the Rings line. So I kind of hit them up and I'm like, hey dudes, can you please get the Star Wars franchise or license? And they said that they're going to try and work. I think a lot of people have mentioned to them. So hopefully that people do keep mentioning to them that we need a Star Wars line from Queen Studios. I don't know, Thor. What do you think?
I'm hoping that's at least a year out. I hope they don't do that anytime soon, but I'd like to see it. But just give us a year. Give us a year to get ready, Queen Studios.
Yeah. Were you shocked that they picked up the Matrix and Lord of the Rings?
Not really. Seeing Lord of the Rings is heating up here. You know, Prime One got it and everything. The Matrix, that one came out of left field a little bit. You know, I mean, not really, because the new movie's coming out, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not totally unexpected. You know, that's cool.
Yeah, it's unexpected for me because I'm like, well, can you imagine like a Neo lifelike bust in your collection? That's pretty crazy.
It could be coming.
Yeah. So I really hope that, I don't know, man, guys, Star Wars is hot right now. People need to be taking advantage of that, right? Like they need to do what they did with Marvel, where everywhere you went was like, which we are getting, right? We're getting it with Child. We're getting it with some of these merchandise. I mean, we got Baby Yoda green tea. Like that's insane. Like we have Baby Yoda Crocs. Like who the hell does that? So yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the spoiler talk. Anybody that hasn't watched The Mandalorian season 2, episode 6, shame on you, first of all. But if you guys haven't watched it, please leave and come back when you guys have after you guys have watched it. Please come back and rewatch this part of the live stream. Anyway, we'll start off with our guest for tonight, Nick Knack. What is your thoughts on this episode?
Oh man, this so I watched this episode on Friday night, and the most current episode you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So just to encapsulate, to the audience that doesn't know me as well, I am a huge Star Wars fan, 40 years plus. And, but I was really, really turned away by the sequels quite a bit. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, we don't need to go over that specifically, but this show has really brought me back into the fold a little bit. And this last episode in particular, obviously we're talking spoilers right now, but with Boba Fett doing all this awesome shit, and when he puts back on the armor, just to go right to the sweet spot of the episode, it gave me the same tingles, maybe not as much because I'm more of a Vader fan, but it gave me the same tingles that I got in Rogue One in that corridor when Vader ignites that lightsaber, when they're trying to get the Death Star plans, into the Tantive 4. It was the same kind of tingles I got, seeing Boba Fett in action. It was awesome. It was awesome. This was the kind of episode that really just to quote Godfather 3, I think I'm out and they pull me back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no escape.
Yeah. So no, I mean that was my first film. It was like one of the best Star Wars moments that we've gotten since Rogue One.
Wow, that's a lot to Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, Thor, what's your thoughts on this episode, man?
Well, first, before I even get to the episode, since SithCast, how long we've been talking about this? We've been casting people to play young Boba.
Oh yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
3 years, 3 years, right?
I mean, I've longed to see this guy go off ever since Return of the Jedi. You know what I mean? I've waited. I always thought he was a wasted opportunity, and I was like, this dude could be so amazing, and they just pissed it away. But anyhow, I remember because this was the first episode I really had no idea what was going to happen. Like each one, you said, well, I could see this happening, and you knew Ahsoka was coming, and all this other kind of stuff, and they kind of gave you hints before each show what was going to happen next. This was the first one you didn't even know if they was going to go to this planet with this rock and everything. So you didn't know if it was going to take 2 episodes or how long. Anyhow, they went. And me and my wife, we watch it every Friday morning together, right? So it's 6 o'clock in the morning, we watching this thing. And I remember he put the baby on the rock and he's trying to get him to do his thing and nothing happened. And then you hit his engine. And when he turned around and looked up and I saw Slave One, and I took in my head, I said, this is it. I said, this is it. And she said, who is that? I said, that, my dear, is Boba Fett. She said, oh, really? I said, yeah. And then I waited. And when he showed up, when he first talked, the dude even sounded mighty. He was like, I've been looking for you, Mandalorian. I was just like, oh my God, this is really happening. And I don't know if it's just me. I wasn't really a big fan of them bringing back Fennec Shan. I'm like, I don't want them bringing back all these dead people. You know what I mean? I mean, she was cool and everything. Don't get me twisted, but I don't want that to become a habit, is all I'm saying. You know,
yeah.
I mean? People are like, oh man, how do nobody's really gone and all that bullshit. Anyhow, so then the Empire shows up. And this is before the man even had his armor. This dude was like, with bad intentions, he was taking these people out. You can see the contrast between him and Mando. Like Mando's more smooth, this thing more calculated, but this dude was tactical, bro. I mean, even with no armor, he just had a repeater sand trooper rifle. And it kind of made me mad because this dude is coming on somebody else's show and he harder than the dude that's the star. You know what I mean, I don't think I'm exaggerating. And Mando kind of made me upset because he goes up, he's trying to get the baby. Okay, you try it once, it didn't work. You try it work twice, it didn't work again. Why are you gonna keep trying it? Dude, just turn around, let him do his thing, go get with the battle. You know what I mean? So he's passed out for like 10 minutes and everything. I'm like, oh my God, Mando, come on, man. Because it ain't the first time this happened. We talk about this with the Night Owls and all these other people that he was like kind of step behind. I mean, that's my boy and everything. Don't get me twisted, but back to Boba Fett. So I mean, it's just he was creeping on these people, like stealth, everything. And this is the first time I think I've ever seen like stormtrooper helmets shattering. I mean, he's stabbing these dudes in the chest and everything. I was like, bro, this is the dude we've been waiting to see. You know what I mean? And then Mando comes back, and then you knew your boy was going to get his armor and everything. And bro, when he got it, it was like that was like a longing, like an unfulfillable longing to see that. You know what I mean? I mean, this dude was unstoppable. And you see why he was the best that Jabba had. Like, no question. You saw why Vader asked for him. Because he was the guy. And to me, now that he's back, he's the best again. I mean, I love you, Mando, but I'm sorry, bro. You know, because if you had to face this dude, I think you'd have to be worried a little bit. You know what I mean? Because the man is a monster.
Yeah,
and then, you know, on a sadder note, you know, they destroyed the Razor Crest, which I think has more significance than we think. You know what I mean? I think that actually it actually one scenario has got me a little worried. One, I think life as Mando knew it is over. Like flying around with this baby and everything. I think that actually tells us that whoever comes that he contacted with is going to take him. You know what I mean? I think them rolling together, I think that's over with. You know, and the scenario that I really hope doesn't happen is Boba gets capped and then Mando start flying around the galaxy in Slave One. You know, I'm really hoping that don't happen. You know, because I've seen some people with these theories and stuff, and I was like, would they have enough nuts to do that? You know what I mean? I'm like, we just got this dude back after 40 years. I mean, come on, don't people would be devastated, you know. And
I've heard he's in season 3.
Okay, thank God. All right.
So
I was actually worried about that. I was like, don't let that happen. So, you know, I don't know what he's going to do for a ship or if he's going to be rollable, but that would be crazy. If these two dudes are rolling together, woo!
Yeah.
You talk about cornering the market. You know what I mean? But it was crazy. And then, you know, then we find out that we got another prison break coming up. And our boy Bill Blur, whoever it is, he coming back.
Blur, yeah.
I said, oh, this is going to be amazing. And I love how when he told Cara Dune that Grogu was missing, she was like, oh, really? And it was just no questions asked type of thing. You know what I mean? I hope we get our boy Carl Weathers in there too. You know what I mean? I need the whole
crew.
Squad. You know what I mean? So, and I'm sure they're going to go get
the Night Owls.
Night Owls. But I mean, I demand that we see the armor at some point. We need the armor, bro. Well, I mean, very, very badly. I need it like a lust in my body.
You guys
I need the armor.
Do you guys think he's actually going to take that spear and fight with it? He doesn't fight with a spear.
I mean, it's just like it's just like a staff. Like,
yeah, but why wouldn't he take that to the armor and make something cool?
Well, he don't know where she is.
But he can find out.
I mean, you know, time is kind of an essence now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe I could be wrong. But I think
melt that thing down into something worth fighting with, dude.
Yeah, I mean, they could do like a machete type of situation.
It's probably too significant though, huh? That spear, because it's like a thing. I think
the fight would look better because you know the black saber is not like it's not as practical as a lightsaber, like a regular standard lightsaber. You know, so if they're doing two like machete type of things, it would look like some kind of fencing kind of thing. In my opinion, I think the fight would be more attractive to look at if he's using like a staff. I don't think he's going to use it like a spear. I think you're gonna see it more like you ever seen Walking Dead with this guy Morgan and he used that like that pole.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more like that, you know. So But overall, that was light years the best episode they ever made for me.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, the prison one, then Ahsoka. Those are the best three for me. And then after it was over, 6 o'clock in the morning, I went outside and let out this scream like Arnold did at the end of Predator, like to let the Predator know that it was fighting on. If I'd have seen somebody out there, I'd have clotheslined them. You know,
I can only imagine Thor coming out like, like the jungle is like
everything. Yeah. It was amazing. So that's all I got to say. I can't.
Well, first of all, Thor, I don't think I could top whatever you were so passionate,
bro.
This is the most I've seen you like be so passionate about an episode. I mean, you talked, but this one you were just like.
This was the one, bro. I mean, the dude showed us why he was the best.
Yeah.
I mean, he showed us.
Yeah.
You know,
Nick Nack, like, you're a big, huge Boba Fett fan, right? Like, are you?
No, actually, I'm not. But I mean, you know,
you're not.
No, don't say it. Don't say I don't like Boba Fett. I'm not saying I don't like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But to me, you know, Boba Fett was always, you know, he was. As far as the original trilogy goes, if you just look at the original trilogy, he was really a background character. I mean, he was sort of a mechanism to get, you know, Han Solo to Jabba's palace. But outside of that, he was he was just kind of a background character that people just, you know, really over the years, you know, going back to the late 80s, the 90s, you know, people really just took an affection to him, you know, as the years went on. But so I'm not like I don't like own like every like I'm not a completist when it comes to owning Boba Fett collectibles or anything like that. But I mean, it was just I was just like, you know, nerdgasming all over the place, you know, watching him with the Gaddafi stick, you know, literally like doing these savage things to stormtroopers that, you know, things that we've never seen. You know, that was like the most brutal deaths I've ever seen happen to a stormtrooper.
It's crazy.
Any iteration of Star Wars. I mean, like to Thor said, you could like, you know, you hear their armor just like smashing, like he was like, you know, like smashing in, you know, plastic. You know, it was incredible. It was incredible.
Hard to let my kids watch that, but yeah.
Back to the point of it, you know, it was like what I said earlier. It was like, to me, it was like the most tingly thing that I've gotten from Star Wars since the corridor in Rogue One. It was incredible, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? And the one thing that I do, that I do when I watch The Mandalorian is part of me gets kind of mad because I just like, this wasn't so hard. This is so good. This wasn't so hard. You know,
it wasn't. But I'll give you guys my thoughts in just a second. But Matt, let's go to you, man. Like, what's your thoughts on this, man? Just unleash the house.
Yeah. So I'll say, since we said so much that we like, let me say just a couple of things I didn't like, and then I'll go into things I like. So the only things I didn't like so much was, and I think I mentioned this before, but I wasn't a big fan of them just like fighting in Colorado. Like that
Wait, that's kind of Nick Nack.
You know,
but backyard.
It's beautiful. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's just, there wasn't anything special about like the location. Like it felt like they were literally in either somewhere in California or Colorado or San Antonio. Like it just didn't feel
Star
like
Wars.
super. It was like, I think because it was in the bright daylight, blue sky, like it just didn't feel Star Warsy enough to me. But I totally like, look,
Nick Nack's about hiking in the background.
Exactly. Like they're painting out like people, you know, like dune buggies and bikes behind them, and
I could see that. Yeah.
And but that's okay. That's very like whatever, right? That doesn't really matter. It didn't take it out too much. But the only other thing I would say that I wasn't a huge I'm trying to remember the whole thing. So one thing I didn't like two things. I didn't like the Mandalorian continually trying to break the force field of that cylinder thing, the Jedi thing. Like, you can't get in one time, dude. Don't, just protect the child, man. Like, and not to mention, don't even go down there. Just stay up on that damn rock and protect the child. You've got the high ground. You don't need to go anywhere else, right? Like, that's where you're supposed to be anyway. So anyway, that kind of bothered me. But then the only other thing was that when he was getting shot, like, dude, he doesn't seem to understand that there's like other places where he doesn't have armor, right? Like, and the stormtroopers too, like they literally only hit him in the Beskar every single time. And there's a point in time where he's standing there going like this, and that part really bugged me, dude. Like I'm like, he looks like such a little bitch in that part. And I was like, dude, he's not though. He's really awesome, but he's just like letting himself get shot. They're not trying to hide in any way. It was kind of weird. But when Boba Fett came in and the music hit, whatever that music groan thing that they got going on was so freaking cool, man. Like after he came in, it was just, it doesn't matter.
The grown-ups have shown up now.
Yeah. Like it doesn't matter. Look, if I have to see Boba Fett fighting in New York City or Colorado or like, I don't really care. Like he was so freaking cool. And, it just didn't really like everything else kind of went away. And, I thought Tamora Morrison did a fantastic job. I mean, I don't think obviously it wasn't him the whole time. You could tell like there's other people in the suit every now and then, but I do think the whole thing, like the choreography for the most part was really good. And it wasn't Robert or what's his name?
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job. I was happy that there wasn't as much of there wasn't as much of like a help me and then I'll give you, like there wasn't as much of a transaction. It just, at least it didn't feel like it.
Side mission.
Yeah, it wasn't side mission-y that much. It felt like it was actually going somewhere. I am kind of cool with them destroying the Razor Crest. Like, I don't know. I love the ship. I think it's awesome, but I don't know. It was really interesting to see something that big of a deal happen in that show, right? That's a big deal.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And just to piggyback off your point about the location, I just remembered this. I was watching that scene with my wife, and they came in on the Razor Crest, and they're kind of going around the obelisk, the temple obelisk. And I mentioned my wife was like, "Look, babe, they filmed this at Red Rocks."
Exactly.
Red Rocks. That's our big concert venue with natural locations down in Golden Morrison area here in Denver.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought of when I was like, "This is really strange," but like, whatever. Like, I think if at the end of the day, I think it worked, and I think that probably those actors were probably happy to get out of the damn void. They're probably like, this place smells like we need to go to like an actual like location. Yeah. So I think it's cool. I loved what happened in the episode. The Dark Troopers I thought were cool. Some people thought they were kind of weird looking and like
cartoony maybe.
Yeah. Some people thought that. I can understand that. I kind of liked it.
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think it might have been, but it happened so fast. Like, if anything, those Dark Troopers reminded me of like Sentinels from like X-Men or something like that. Like, they were like flying and trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they were pretty tall.
Yeah.
And things.
PJ, do you know what this feels like to me more? The way that this show is going, the direction that the show is going, it almost feels like it's going more towards the original Timothy Zahn Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
Going to the sequel trilogy. Doesn't that feel to you?
It is, because a lot of the stuff that is happening is like, a lot of it is Legends, and like they're pulling a lot of like Dark Troopers and clones and Thrawn.
I know he was in Rebels, but I mean, he was introduced in the Heir to the Empire originally.
Yeah,
and Heir to the Empire takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi and Legends, and this show feels like more like it's going towards Heir to the Empire than it certainly feels like it's going towards Force Awakens. Which I love, give me more.
Very true.
Yeah, and like you said, like I don't know, it's just they're doing a lot of fan service. A lot of people, and like you said, Nick Nack, it's like this should have happened from the beginning. Kathleen Kennedy didn't really help by saying that they want to focus on new Star Wars fans. But they don't care about the old fans. Like, that's not how you go about like with a franchise. Like, I think Jon Favreau, he's the one who jump started the MCU, right? And he did it in a way where both old fans and new fans can appreciate the movie. And that's how it is. That's what's happening with Star Wars.
Yeah,
so I'm curious to see how this goes, and if they continue with the same kind of chemistry for future TV shows and films, and they kind of really do a good job of connecting everything.
Yeah.
Oh, forget it. Like, I think Star Wars is back on top again.
Star Wars should have been, like you said, from the beginning. It should have been 1 through 6 should be just its own, is the saga. 1 through 6 is the saga. And then what it should have been, it should have been, when Disney bought it moving forward, is it should have been a number of series of TV shows like we're getting that just complement the saga, but don't necessarily, interact with it too much. Or the occasional anthology film like Rogue One or even Solo. It just, outside of the boundaries of the George Lucas saga, and sometimes they'll touch and intermingle, but nothing that'll actually dramatically alter or change anyone's perception of it. That's how they should have proceeded from the beginning. And I think they would have saved themselves a lot of grief and made a lot more money.
Yeah. And I think, like, from there, then plan and build your sequel trilogies off of that. But again, not to go back, I'm gonna kind of give you guys like my thoughts on it. So I'm just giving you guys some little like some Easter eggs and stuff like that. So obviously this is directed by Robert Rodriguez, who when he was first announced to direct this show, I was like, well, hopefully it's not like Planet Terror, right? Like literally, we got like a Mandalorian with a shotgun,
like a grindhouse kind of feel.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm glad they didn't go that route. So this is Tython. This planet was Tython. This was first mentioned in Darth Bane Rule of Two. This is also, which is great. And
which guys, isn't it? It is crazy that they went there right away. Right.
Yeah.
I was not expecting them to just go there.
No, I thought there'd be another filler episode, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Matt. And I was gonna say the exact same thing too. Is like, I was really shocked that they went straight there, and there wasn't like a side quest that they needed to do to get there. And but again, Tython was the planet, and this was like mentioned in Darth Bane Rule 2. First, also mentioned in Dr. Aphra comic books, which is also canon. The Seeing Stone was also kind of like a reference. Was it like a reference to or similar to the Seeing Stone on The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Boba Fett arriving with Fennec Shan in Slave One was pretty surprising. Fennec's cybernetic tech in her stomach. Was it the same tech that they used for Luke's hand? Also, what a weird looking cybernetic stomach, right?
That was a little jarring, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry?
That was a little jarring, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like, blah, like, and I'm like, okay, how's that work?
Gotta pump that poop out, man.
Yeah, I guess. The Nidars was awesome. What other things? Dark Troopers. But going back to the beginning of the episode, like first seeing Tython, I was like, wait, this is happening too fast. Are we gonna see them summon the Jedi, or like who's gonna show up to answer the call? On top of that Seeing Stone. Then when Slave One, like, was when you heard that motor,
the trill of its engine.
Yeah, I'm like, I heard it. I'm like, what is that? And then you saw it flying in the clouds or in the sky. I was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was with my kids. We watched it together in the morning before I go to work. And I was like, guys, that's Boba Fett. They're like, Dad, no way. I was like, that's freaking Boba Fett. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, this is crazy. That's Boba freaking Fett. Like, I didn't expect it. Yeah. So, like, it lands, and I'm like, Mandalorian's like, oh my gosh, like, I gotta protect this child. I was like, oh man, here we go. Showdown between Mando and Boba. This is what a lot of fans have been waiting for. And it was more like, just like, hey, Boba Fett was kind of like chill about it. Like, oh, like, hey dude, like, I want my armor back. Just give it back, and I'll protect you and the child. And before they could even finish that conversation, obviously, the stormtroopers came and all that good stuff. And not to go over it too much, but dude, the action scene, like, this is what we've been waiting for ever since I was a kid, man. Like, for me, this is like since I was 6 years old, like, 1986, like 1987. Like, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life to finally see Boba Fett in action. And it's just one of those, as a kid, you're like, oh, Boba Fett could kick so-and-so's butt, or Boba Fett could do this and do that. And it's all left to your imagination on what Boba Fett could do. But to see that happen in the TV screen, I was literally crying, dude. Like, I was just like, I had like tears coming down my eyes. My kids were like, "Well, that was wrong." I'm like, "No, this is context. It's early in the morning."
Yeah.
It's just too much.
You know what's awesome about that too? Just to cut in.
No, that's fine.
But doesn't it kind of like after watching that episode of The Mandalorian, go back now and watch I know Boba Fett's kind of clowned in that scene, but go back and watch Return of the Jedi. And doesn't that raise the stakes of that scene just a little bit when Boba Fett hits his jetpack and lands on top of the skiff? Not the skiff, but the
sail barge.
It was the skiff. Yeah, the sail. He brought the sail barge to the skiff.
Yeah,
he lands on the skiff and he confronts Luke.
Oh,
and it's just like, doesn't that kind of like raise the tension in that scene just a little bit, knowing what he's capable of?
Yeah.
Even though he gets kind of clowned in that scene, but it kind of.
I'm glad you brought that up, my friend. So I'm hoping.
Oh my God! What the?
I'm hoping it's Mace Windu.
Interesting.
Because he don't like Mace Windu too much.
No, he doesn't.
Well, first of all, what'd you go from? Like, where'd you hear this from? Like, across the room?
Oh, yeah, he knew what was going on.
He knew what we were talking about.
From Luke. Oh.
Yeah.
There's a disturbance.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Knick-knack. Like, I played like a lot of like the Star Wars Galaxies, and a lot of like I was in a lot of like some of the Star Wars forums when I was back in the day, and we used to have a lot of arguments between that scene, the Django and Obi-Wan scene, and like, I've always been a bounty hunter guy, right? I've always said a bounty hunter can stand toe to toe with a Jedi, and there would be like some nerds out there that really, really do their homework, and they give me like a freaking, essay on why a Jedi could beat a bounty hunter. But you're right, like with seeing Boba Fett now and what he could do, kind of tells you like, wow, like he could stand toe to toe with a Jedi.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, but we saw that in episode 2 with his father, with Django, because he went toe to toe with Obi-Wan pretty easily. But all we ever saw of Boba Fett, respectfully to the character, previous to this, like I said, was him kind of getting clowned, in the Sarlacc pit scene. And so, now it's just like, now you kind of have to just chalk that up to bad luck and a damn jetpack malfunction, because that's whenever the Fetts just always go down from damn bad jetpacks, as you guys.
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Cad Bane did it too. He threw down with Jedi.
Yeah. So again, bounty hunters
can't bring him back. Oh my God, bro. That would be crazy.
Yeah. So like again, like seeing Boba in action, and it just really brought tears to my eyes, and just finally getting to see him. Like, first of all, the stuff that's coming out. What do you call it? What's that called? The knee guards, the knee darts. That's what they call it. The knee darts coming. Like, oh my gosh, like where the hell did they come from, dude? And he like flinged his gun like he like Django, his father.
His father, yeah.
He was like a gunslinger. He's like shooting. On top of that, he's got a dad bod. He's got a freaking dad bod.
Yep.
Right. And
when you're a monster, you're a monster, bro.
You're a monster. You're a monster.
It don't matter.
I think someone, like, there was a meme going around like saying that, like, oh, when you're 50 years old and you put on your 30-year-old like high school jersey, it was kind of like that same feeling. But he looked good. I know some people, oh my gosh, obviously there are some people that like to nitpick. They're like, well, why is he wearing a skirt, right? And I had to respond. It was on DCX Open Mic, Thor. on the Facebook group. I was like, dude, I don't think he had time to look for his pants.
That's part of the reason why it fits so tight too, because he had that robe on. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping he can get rid of that.
Yeah, you know, just to your point too, it's like about the joke about the 50-year-old putting on his high school letter jacket or whatever. We're not that far removed from Boba Fett and Return of the Jedi here. We're only like 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And he was rolling around in the desert. I don't think he was eating good, man. It's not like me, down the street from a Popeyes and a Burger King. I mean, he's probably been, munching on Jawa innards and shit for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, I hear you. So
he hadn't been eating good in the neighborhood, man. There's no Applebee's there.
No, dude, he probably had Sarlacc every night, man.
Yeah.
Shaved a piece of Sarlacc off until that freaking, thing came and ate it. Yeah, and he got away.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, to see the Dark Troopers come take the child, that was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Also to see Moff Gideon, like they're talking to Grogu and their Star Destroyer. That was pretty cool. That reminded me of Princess Leia talking to Vader in A New Hope, right? And then they stunned the poor baby. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what kind of people are you?
Right. My one complaint about the show so far, and I don't have a lot, but my one complaint, and this goes back to Star Wars Rebels too. I don't understand this. I really wish that they would actually let stormtroopers be a little more threatening, because it kind of would raise the stakes once in a while. I'm just saying once in a while, let a stormtrooper kill somebody.
Yeah.
Because then it might be a little more tension filled when you get 10 stormtroopers showing up. You just they're the underdogs. Every time they're on screen, they're the damn underdogs.
Right. And it's just this, like, it's so tough, I think, for anyone that creates anything in Star Wars, because it's been, not only has it been the trilogy, the prequels, and now the sequels that have fed into this idea that stormtroopers are just like the worst, right? Yeah. Everyone's done it. And so now it's like canon.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like you have to go outside of canon just to make a stormtrooper hit something. It's seriously, it's crazy.
I mean, you know what? I mean, when you watch the beginning of A New Hope and the Tantive 4, when they run the siege on the Tantive 4, and those doors come down and the stormtroopers come out, they're actually pretty menacing. They take out a bunch of troopers. They take over the ship really quickly. It's efficient. I want to see more of that. The Empire didn't run the galaxy they ran the galaxy for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or either that, or bring in some Death Troopers too with them. That might kind of.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just let them get. I'm not saying they got to like kill heroes off, but I'm like, maybe like when they were
injure someone.
Yeah, like in the episode when they took over the weapon ship, on whatever that moon was, that aquatic moon. Maybe let one of the stormtroopers kill one of the Mandos, just one. And then the unimportant guy, whoever that guy was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rob Solo makes this is a funny comment. He says if a stormtrooper actually killed someone, they would all stop to celebrate.
Yeah, we shouldn't be at that place.
It'd be like the Ewok village celebration scene, right? When they're all like starting to like celebrate because they actually killed someone. Yeah, stormtroopers are a joke, and hopefully they do something. Maybe that's why they had to like make the Dark Troopers like canon, because they were like, well, I don't know if we're gonna just throw in like 100 stormtroopers at Mando is gonna make any difference.
Yeah, I'm just saying it would just be nice because it sort of has a video game feel to it, like
Yeah, and I hear you. How cool was it to see like the sergeant stormtrooper there?
Yeah, with the orange paladin.
Yeah, but first of all, he was overacting in like that scene. Like he was like actually like torquing his body like
crazy, dude.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Why can't you just point to where you need to shoot? Like, why do you gotta
he was really going for it.
Yeah. Another thing, like to Matt's point, like first of all, that scene where he was getting like Mando was getting blasted, like that reminded me of Terminator. Like he's getting like shot like in like Terminator. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh come on, Mando. Yeah, really? We all know you got Beskar. Just try to not act so invincible once in a while. Like
exactly.
Like go behind cover. I don't know. That really kind of.
Act like you have parts of you that are exposed, because you do. I mean, like that's nobody wants to get shot, so like why not just run? They were standing in front of a rock. Like they literally were standing in front of a rock they could get behind. And I was just like, what do you do? Like, what is going on? And Fennec Shander, whatever her name is, like, she doesn't have anything to protect her. And it was all hitting the Mandalorian. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
They didn't hit Boba once.
No.
He made sure they didn't hit him.
Yeah, he killed them before they even shot him.
Was his armor Beskar or is it something else?
They insinuated during their conversation that it was.
Yeah. And it's cool to see that they kind of answer some questions. They said that Jango is Mandalorian. He was a foundling. He participated in the Civil War, the Mandalorian Civil War. Boba Fett showed the chain code that's linked to his armor. So I wonder if that was the chain code that he was able to use to kind of track his armor. Maybe that's why he was able to track, like he was going to the village when Mando was leaving. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he was like standing in a rock and he saw Mando like ride by with his armor.
Right.
Maybe he was heading to that village or to that town because he was tracking his armor, and then he realized that Boba has it. That's why he was like walking away. First of all, the Razor Crest. Just to touch upon that real quick. When I saw the Razor Crest, not only did my heart started like drop to the my heart dropped to the ground, and I started crying. I saw physically, like literally in my mind, I saw like my pre-order for the
HasLab.
I was about to say
the HasLab Razor Crest explode, and like all the like $350 are like flying and disintegrating in the air.
But it's such a cool ship though. Still, like it really is cool.
Yeah. So just a little insider from my insider guy. So I said, hey man, not to spoil anything for myself, dude, what's going to happen with the Razor Crest? Like what's going on? He goes, not to spoil anything for you. This is all I'm gonna say. Whoever cancels the Razor Crest is a dumbass.
Yeah.
He goes, that's all I'm saying.
Oh my God, really?
Come on, man. I mean, the last HasLab Star Wars piece was the sail barge. We all know what happened to that. So come on.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, but he was kind of like he was kind of like implying that hey, it's gonna come back. I mean, we did see it in a Rise of Skywalker, right? So
yeah, I thought about that too. I said, well, I guess that can't be the Razor Crest.
I mean, like my thinking is they're gonna. Yeah, it'll come back, but there'll be something that's different. They'll do something that they can sell more.
I mean, there's nothing. There was nothing.
No, I know, but like it's so.
Generation.
I don't get it either. You know what's crazy is like his rifle's gone. Like Q90's is dust, is ashes. Like,
well, can I make a point real quick? Those poor freaking prisoners, those poor bounties frozen in carbonite.
They were still there.
They were still
they didn't have a choice. They weren't given a choice. They had to stay in there, and then they got exploded. Like that's effed up. You know. That said, though, that probably is a better death for them because they were slowly dying in those carbonite pieces. Like that one dude said his eye was messed up after being in there for like what, an hour?
Yeah.
Like, dude, those guys are gone. They're freaking
like if they were ever to be like I don't know how to say it, like like they were thawed out from the carbonite. It would be like, you ever watch RoboCop and the guy was like in like that came out of the acid, like and like RoboCop. It's gonna be like they're gonna be like one of those, like him.
They'd be really effed up.
No so you're right, man. I think they were probably better off being
way better off
disintegrated as a carbonite, by the way. So yeah, like again, so my insider said that I don't know what that could mean many things, right? But he said not to cancel it, and also that another thing he wanted to point out was Mandalorian is not going to be like changing his armor fully, but he is going to change his outfit, like the way he looks.
You mean Boba or
Boba? Sorry, Boba. So yeah,
See that.
yeah, he's not going to be wearing that that skirt
Yeah.
that he had. So again, he's been pretty on point with some of the stuff he's been saying. I mean, with the Razor Crest, not with with Slave One, I think I mentioned in the last episode that was supposed to be in this episode, or I mean, not in this season at least, or in the next. But yeah, so I'm glad that was pretty true. Yeah, so I try not to spoil it for myself by asking him too many questions because I really want to like be surprised when things happen. Bo-Katan, not Bo-Katan, Sabine Wren, he said that the armor is made. He's not sure if it's going to be in this season or the next, but he did see the armor for Sabine. Yeah, and those are the insider tips. But anyway, going back to the episode, dude, I enjoyed it. I think Robert Rodriguez did an amazing job. I could see some of his signature, like, cinematography and stuff like that, like, signature directing, with the close-ups and stuff like that. Like, oh man, such a great episode. And I seriously, it's going to be hard to top, but according to, I guess, many sources and people have been saying that the next 2 episodes are going to be even better.
Well, think about it, dude. I mean, you just got on the roller coaster, right? I mean, Ahsoka literally was you like pulling down the bar and being like, here we go. Like that's basically what it was. And it's just going and going and going. It's just going to get faster and faster. I mean, that's what I think they have to do, right? They have to, honestly, we deserve this after seeing that frog lady jumping through that frog lady jumping through the snow. Like after that, I think we deserve every bit of what we're getting. Because
y'all don't think Ahsoka gonna be part of this crew, do you?
I hope so.
I hope so, but I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I hope so, man.
I think she has her own mission.
I don't know. The question is Mando literally going to go like backtrack and go like, here are all the people I met. Hey, come with me. Like, is that going to happen? Or is it going to be like, is the next episode going to be him just going back and finding all these people? Or is there actually going to be, because like, to me, I could also see the ending being the prison break, right? Like, the last episode. So no, I don't really know. What I think could be cool though is if Ahsoka did join and we end up seeing Thrawn at the end. Like just for a minute, like, he comes in and like, I don't know.
He's the bigger bad guy.
Yeah, that could be amazing.
Or
you hear his voice. You just hear his voice or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Again, as before we wrap things up here, Nick Nack, what is your theory of the Jedi that's going to be summoned to that, to what's that called? To that place, to the Seeing Eye Stone, or to Tython,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have a theory. I have hopes, but
yeah.
I don't have a theory.
What's your theories and hope?
Oh, dude, I just want to see, dude. I want to see Luke Skywalker again. This is Luke Skywalker 5 years after Return of the Jedi. He is, this is him in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
They still owe me. They still owe me and every single OG Star Wars fan out there an apology for his treatment in the sequels. It's time to give that to us. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they'll probably give us something like Ezra or something, which to me would be a waste because half the fans out there aren't even gonna know who Ezra is because not everyone watched Rebels.
I guarantee it won't be Ezra. Guarantee it won't be.
You don't think so? Why not?
No, because I'm Vader Damas, and I'm telling you, it's not gonna be Ezra.
I just want to know. I don't think
because that's Ahsoka's thing. That's who she's looking for.
Yeah.
And I think they want to spoil it with this.
Yeah,
I'd hope not. I mean, I've seen pictures of Ezra with a beard looking like Kenny Loggins and shit. I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't think that'd be a big enough whoa if it was Ezra.
No, if it's Ezra, like half, 2/3 of the people watching the show aren't even gonna know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
but that's that. But I just want to see some Luke Skywalker. That's what I want to see. I don't think that's what I'm gonna get, but that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, you know what I'll say. I think I mentioned this guy PJ in our chatting here and there, but I kind of feel like they're it would make sense for them to give us Luke Skywalker because of what you just said, Nick Nack. Like, I think there are plenty of people that are frustrated, right? That said, what I'm wondering is, like, look, if they give us enough Luke Skywalker where we see the Luke Skywalker that we all wanted to see, then you can a little bit easier, like, let go of him being what he was
in The Last Jedi.
In The Last Jedi, because like, you can understand, like, all the stuff he went through. The problem is they gave us that without us seeing the other part.
Yeah, there was no context.
Right. They gave us that without seeing, like, this is what happened. But even before that, like, this is how badass of a Jedi he was, right? No, there's nothing that was enjoyable about seeing him like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they could give us that. Honestly, I would love to see, and I know this ties into sequels. Some people might not like this, but I would love to see Luke Skywalker show up with a Ben Solo, young Ben Solo next to him. Mm-hmm. And have that play into, because you're not getting rid of the sequels as much as anybody wants to. It's never going to happen. So, like, there needs to be some tie-ins to the sequels to kind of, like, help it along, right? And so I think they can do some small tie-ins like that can help and still give people what they want to see, right? Still give people something to be excited about, and tie up some loose ends for the sequels. I think they can do both.
Well, I think Ben Solo would be too young in this.
Maybe. I don't know how young would he be?
He's 30 in The Last Jedi, so he'd be like 5-6 years old.
Too young.
When did he start? Do you know? When did he start training?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I have no idea.
No, but I'm just thinking, like, and like I think I mentioned in the previous live streams, and I really want it to be Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
The reason why, and I think I've been saying this, like, since before the season started, that I think it is the best kept secret this season. First season was Grogu, right? Baby Yoda was the best kept secret. This season, I think, Mark Hamill coming on record saying that he's not going to do a Star Wars TV show or film. You were like, okay, like, why would you come on record to say that?
But are you sure it's Mark Hamill?
Yeah, maybe. Might not be Mark Hamill, but
Sebastian Stan.
It could be Sebastian Stan. Like, that would be perfect. But again, like, for me, if he was ever to, I think if it was me directing or writing, I would make him come back in the last episode where all hope is lost. All hope is lost. The Dark Troopers have beaten Mando. They're about to kill Mando, Boba Fett, or the rest of his crew. And here comes Luke Skywalker, like, trying to find this, the Force, Grogu, right? Like, this beacon. And he comes in and he sees the Dark Troopers, and you just see him do what we've been waiting for this whole time, like we've been waiting for with Boba Fett. That's Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker are similar, just because we really didn't get Luke Skywalker. Like, we got Luke Skywalker as a Jedi Knight, doing some flips and, force kicking a guy, right? Like, because he really didn't kick him in the face. Like, little things in there, but when he came down to the encounter, like his encounter with the Emperor, he really didn't fight the Emperor. He was holding back. He was holding back against his father. He didn't want to kill his father, right? So this would be the perfect opportunity to, like you said, to close that chapter out with Luke Skywalker. And just kind of move on. Like, people can finally move on, because that's one thing that's missing in a lot of Star Wars fans' hearts, especially the old school fans, is that we didn't get to see Luke Skywalker kick ass.
It's 37 years. I'm still waiting to see Luke Skywalker again, because I didn't see him in those films. And Mark Hamill didn't see him in those films, so I'm not.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, this is a perfect opportunity to explain things to leading up to the sequel trilogy. We don't know, right? There's so many things that could happen, but I think once they do this, we could finally say, all right, let's move on.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Like with Boba Fett, that's one thing that's missing in our hearts, like that void in our hearts where, man, like, I wish we could see Boba Fett kick butt, and we finally got it. We got it, guys. We got it. After how many years? For me, like, freaking 34 years, finally got to see Boba Fett kick butt.
Yeah.
I see it happening. What I think is actually going to happen, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this. the person and Knick-Knack, I don't know if you are aware of our little theory here, but I think this is what's going to happen, guys.
Yaddle?
I think
Yaddle
is going to the Yaddle saddle is going to happen,
bro.
This is the face. I mean, this is the face of many
This
things.
is the face of the future. We'll see. I'd lose my shit if I saw Yaddle, just because I think she's the ugliest thing in the galaxy, but also how crazy would that be, dude? It would just be such a deep cut. It'd be crazy.
Oh my gosh. First of all, who who drew this thing?
I don't know.
Oh gosh. Anyway, God bless them. But the Yaddle saddle will happen eventually.
It's going to be interesting to see what happened.
I know
he was reaching out to somebody, right? Who's going to come at the end? Supposedly, it would be a real miss, I think, for them to not have someone show up at the end, because what was that? What was the point of that? Otherwise, they have to. They have to.
Yeah, and exactly. What's the point of that so early in the season? This could have been done at the end of this could have been the last episode of the season.
Right.
So why so early? Why do this so early? So it's either, in my opinion, it's either Mace. I really don't think it's gonna be Mace, but
I hope it is.
With glass in his face.
Yeah,
from the window.
And he says, "This party's over, and I've had enough of this MFF."
So bad. I want
There's too many snakes. There's too many snakes.
I've had enough of this MFing snakes in this MFing plane. Oh god,
it's gonna be Luke. It's gonna be Luke. I want it to be Mace, but it's gonna be Luke.
Listen. I'll tell you what. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense any other way, because Luke, what is he doing right now? Supposedly, he's trying to get some things to, find people, right? That he could possibly make a freaking Jedi Academy with, right?
Yeah,
it makes sense. He's looking for people. So he felt that little, Peter tingle, his Grogu tingle happened, and all of a sudden he's gonna go try to find him. That makes sense to me.
That makes absolute sense to me too. I mean, who's strong in the Force at that time period?
Right. That would be the most blow everybody away moment. It'd be cool if Mace showed up, but if Luke showed up, people holy fuck.
Well, and
you'd be like, oh my god.
And that said, Thor, they don't actually have to have an actor be Luke. What they can do is just have his lightsaber turn on, and it's a green lightsaber, and he picks up Grogu. I don't know. It doesn't have to be Sebastian Stan turning to the camera and going, "I'm Luke," right? You don't have to do that. You can have it be very subtle.
He breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah,
hey
exactly.
Guys. Hey.
I'm people in Winter Soldier. They de-aged was Michael Douglas and all them.
Yeah.
Made them look 30 years old. So
they don't kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know how people find out they're like, oh, Sebastian Stan's in this. He's gonna be Luke or whoever, whatever, right? Or
it's tight. No, that shit is tight. That's
right. But I'm saying even they don't even have to necessarily do that, because even if they just tease it at the end and it's for the next season, they don't have to. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if we're going to see the actual Jedi come and wreck shop. I think we might see something at the very end, kind of. I don't know.
I told you what's going to happen. It's going to be one of these numbers. He's going to walk up. He's going to do like that.
Yeah.
And then it's going to cut off.
And then Grogu's going to shit himself.
Right. Yeah.
I just hope that in the next season, Grogu's not trying to hand him the lightsaber and throws it over his shoulder.
But then it'll make sense why he did it the second time.
Not again. But you know what? I really hope so. Just because that would seriously completely reunite the fandom. Right now, we're seeing the healing process happen. Right, a lot of fan service, a lot, things are happening, bringing new fans, bring, fans that probably like The Last Jedi or hated The Last Jedi come together and enjoy Star Wars content, right? That's what's happening now, and I think to completely capitalize on that, bring Luke back, just have him crap out, just just really destroy Wreck Shop.
Give him a hero's moment. That's all people want. Give him a hero's moment.
Give him a proper send off. He will grab Grogu and maybe Kylo Ren on the other hand and say, "Hey guys, I'm starting my Jedi Temple. Peace out," and then he leaves. And that's it. And we don't have to see Grogu again, right? And then Mandalorian can focus on trying to get Mandalore back. I don't know, and explore the Mandalorian culture more as opposed to, oh, he's babysitting the child. Oh, he's doing more side quests. Oh my gosh, he's running away. Oh God, we got to break someone from prison. You know, it's just at some point, and you guys are totally right. It gets old and you kind of want to move on from that. Like and the perfect way to kind of put Grogu in good hands is Luke Skywalker. Well, I don't know, because Kylo Ren grows up and, you know.
No, hey man, I'm still holding out hope for that retcon, man. I gotta be honest. So, we'll
the only way I can see them doing the retcon thing, I thought we've talked about this, PJ. We're like, how crazy would it be if they still had in their heads had the whole thing of like, look, we still have the card of finding Luke's hand and cloning Luke, right? We can still do that in a way. And so what if they go down that path and like all those weird, like messed up clones are actually like them trying to make Luke, right?
Yeah.
A version of Luke.
Are you saying the last Jedi Luke Skywalker isn't Luke Skywalker?
Well, that's what I'm saying. There would have to be something.
Because if you're saying that, man, I'm really liking that.
Yeah, well, there'd have to be something that happens, right?
That's a good point.
Right, and
that's
so
a good out. That's a good out.
And what would be mind blowing is to think that Snoke is actually a failed Luke clone, and then all of a sudden you have all this like connection, right? And like, and then they go, hey, clone Luke, you're really like. It's kind of old and messed up. Just run this Jedi Academy, and then Luke is actually going to go try to find throne. I don't know. Like, I don't know how it would work. I just think the only way that works is if something like that happens. I don't see how because they're not.
That actually makes sense because Luke would never sit up here and I'm just going to kill this dude just because I saw him turn into dog. I mean, he didn't give up on his father. Why are you going to give up on him?
Luke Skywalker is someone who faced.
I always thought that was stupid. I was like,
Luke Skywalker faced down two of the most powerful Sith Lords in the history of the galaxy. He's not going to sweat over his nephew.
Actually, that makes absolute sense. What happens if Rian Johnson really knows the actual, like, what this whole entails, and like. Like Rian Johnson is one of those guys, like he likes to make movies. Not only that like people enjoy it in the movies, but it's just one of those things where even after the movie's been long done and set, like you still think about it, right? Like you're like, oh shit, what happens if he kind of did the mic drop, like maybe like 6 years from now? It's like, this is what I've been kind of planning. Like, this like
it would be such a like I think for them to take what would happen and go, we need to shift this into something that works for everybody. And Filoni and Favreau, they're going, I think we can do this way. That makes sense to me. I just think that like, it's possible. I just don't think they're going to do what you're thinking, Nick Knack, where they go, hey, this never happened, right? This is Legends or whatever.
Well, let me just stop you. Let me just stop you real fast. First of all, let me just say that your clone theory is the first time I've ever like sat here and said, okay, now I could maybe like those movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you credit. That was really goddamn good.
Yeah, that would be 100 right there.
That would be cool.
Good. I will say this though. Lucasfilm had no issues, and I know it's different from movies maybe, but they had no issues doing away with 25 years worth of
you're right.
Books, graphic novels, and all kinds of other media for Star Wars. What's throwing out 3 movies if they think it's going to make them money?
I think an interesting thing for me would be to go that direction of saying this actually did happen, but it didn't happen how you think it happened.
Well, I think that you could also look at it. You could also, and every franchise has had to do this at one point. If you're a DC fan, I wouldn't mind seeing Star Wars become more of a multiverse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that'd be interesting.
That's a possibility too. I'm not saying that they don't exist.
right?
But they wouldn't exist in the main continuity timeline.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it would be interesting because look, I think there's things you can do to explain it away, right? Yeah. Leia never was really excited to find Luke. Like she was like, we need to find him, but like it was never like even when she saw him when he showed up, like you know, in the hologram thing or whatever of him, it wasn't like, oh my brother, like I haven't seen you in forever. It's like you could easily explain that by saying she knows who he is, right? And
God
so like,
but goddamn, dude, I really like that clone thing.
That'd be great.
It's not like it's not unprecedented. There was Luke Skywalker from Shadows of the Empire.
Is it L?
It's Luuke. Luke Skywalker.
Wow, Matt. I mean,
it'd be interesting.
First of all, who's your insider? And I want to know right
now. If they do it that route, dude, I would be so on board.
I know, and I would love it. I think it would be so interesting to be like Snoke is Luke just really effed up and messed up. Like he's a clone of Luke, and that's why he's so powerful, but like he's all effed up.
Now listen to me, they hear it. If we're going down this fucking rabbit hole. Let's go all the way down. What happens if that maybe they bring that the Luke clone comes into existence because Luke Skywalker, the real one, disappears into the if you watch Rebels, what is that called? The
world between worlds.
The world between worlds. What if Luke Skywalker is stuck between the world between worlds?
Yeah.
And so Luke Skywalker takes his place, like something out of The Last Starfighter,
Yeah. Dude, honestly, what I mentioned this guy to the guys before, I think it'd be freaking amazing. It's never going to happen, but it'd be amazing if let's say Luke, this is getting ridiculous, and I'm sorry for everyone listening, but like, what if Luke comes back at the end, gets Baby Yoda, and he all of a sudden has this mission, right? And he goes, "I've got to get this Baby Yoda back to the timeline," and this Baby Yoda becomes Yoda.
Really Yoda.
So the Baby Yoda actually is Yoda in the timeline.
Yeah, Matt, I'm going to say this, dude. You and I have had our disagreements in the past. But I believe we have fixed Star Wars tonight.
Yeah, exactly. It could be really interesting. Do I think they're going to do it? I doubt it, but I do think there's things
you never know. You never know.
To help everything out. And that's what I think they're trying to do. I don't know if they'll go that far with it, but I do think they're trying to sew up some of these cracks and try to really kind of make you think, oh, like this, I can be okay with this now. And there's people like me that are already for the most part okay with it, that could be totally on board as well. It doesn't ruin anything, so I don't know. It'd be really interesting to see where they go.
I'm just saying, dude, if they went that route, dude, I'd tell you, the sequel Hot Toys figures that I bought before The Last Jedi would be back up in my collection.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying they'd be beloved, but they'd be back.
Right. Yeah. It'd be interesting. I doubt it's going to happen, but it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool if they did.
No, now you got my hopes up, dude.
Yeah.
So.
Well, either way, I think they're trying. I really do think they're trying. So
I agree too. I think they're really trying. And again, guys, this is something compared to last year or a year before, how we felt about Star Wars to now, we're in such a great place. And there's so many possibilities of things that could really help the healing process of us accepting the sequels. And Matt, you made some great points. Nick Nack, you made some great points.
No, Matt nailed it, dude. I didn't make great. Matt nailed it.
Well, you made the point of Luke.
That's expanded universe.
Yeah.
So I think,
which, by the way, real quick, they are pulling from the extended unit from the expanded universe.
When you were in a little hiatus there, I was just telling PJ that my feeling of this show so far, The Mandalorian, my impression so far is this almost feels like it's leading more into Heir to the Empire than it is.
Right. Yeah, like you said, they're pulling. They're basically picking the best things from what they think can work, and that's honestly that's totally fine. I think Filoni and Favreau probably are dude, they should have been doing this the whole time. There's all this really good stuff out there. You don't have to take all of it, but take some of it. Some of it's really, really good. Why not?
Of course, absolutely. The Thrawn trilogy.
Oh, it's great.
it's like one of the best Star Wars books, if not the best Star Wars trilogy books ever made.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that they're pulling from that is like, it's seriously great, and I can't wait, guys. I mean, Mandalorian has done so much, and I hope they keep on going. If they do the things that we think they're gonna do, dude, next season is gonna be so hard to top. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm scared of. Like, I don't want to, because usually it's like the first season is good, then the second season's really good, and the third season's like, like, Breaking Bad. Like, dude, like, like the first season was good, but the second season you're like, oh my gosh, I'm addicted. And third season, like, okay. And the fourth season, it's just like one of those. So I don't know. We'll see, because there's only supposed to be like 5 seasons in The Mandalorian. So that's a lot more stuff, guys. But all right, so let's wrap things up, guys. Again, I try to hit an hour and a half, but obviously we love Star Wars so much that we went the distance. And again, before we do some plugs in, please subscribe to the channel. I'm giving this away. Join the Facebook group. There will be a post on which I will give you descriptions on how to win this bad boy for the month of December. This is the holiday giveaway. This is the Gentle Giant Han Solo in Carbonite. And yes, Aaron Maestro, even though you're a mod in the group, you can still enter, because this is yeah. But anyways, yeah, let's do some plugs. Nick Nack, we'll start off with you. You're our guest. So
thank you. No, man, just check out Nick Nack's Plastic Planet. That's my YouTube channel, and if you love live streams, we do a bi-monthly live stream, so like every other week, usually on Thursdays, and we cover a lot of the same stuff we cover here. We talk a lot of Star Wars, but we do talk a lot of collectibles, and not just Star Wars. We talk about like everything, and it's a really good time. So feel free to check us out on that as well. But please do subscribe to my channel, Nick Nack's Plastic Planet. Would really appreciate it.
Yeah. Congratulations to your 1,000 subscriber milestone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go off clap for you. And
took long enough, but we made it. So.
Yeah, no, you do well deserved. You guys, you do great content, and it's such an underrated channel. Definitely, more people need to be subscribed to your channel.
Thanks,
yeah, check out Nick Nack's Plastic Planet on YouTube, and we'll go to Matt. Anything coming up? Are we gonna see the thing that you've been saying that you're gonna get pretty soon, or is this gonna be like your Christmas Star Wars?
Yeah, maybe after Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay, can you give us a hint? Is it big? Is it small? Is it
big? It's I'll tell you guys later. And look, I do this way too much, where I don't tell people what's happening, and people get pissed at me. So like, I don't want it to be a big deal. It really is not. It's probably more interesting to me than anybody else. So it's I'll say that it just has a Star Wars something to it, and so I'm excited. I'm only not saying because I haven't got things together to get what I want to get, and I just want to make sure I can even
we know what it is.
It's Yaddle, man. Life size Yaddle. Obviously.
Thor, we'll go to you. We can plug in your channel, DCX Open Mic.
Yeah, so this Friday we talk about the Prime One show, winter show they just put up, and XM just put out some new pieces. They're showing the new DC stuff, and going over all that. And if you're in the DCX Facebook group, we're voting on statues of the year. So that's in the group, because the 18th, that's gonna be our last show for this year, and we're gonna do the awards that night. So yeah, be sure to vote. And
Bulba's coming back, and I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So I'll be on the 18th for that show. So yeah. So going to be an awesome show. And obviously, guys, please check out SithCast YouTube channel. Well, you guys are watching right now, but for the people listening, please subscribe to the channel. Please join the Scum and Villainy Facebook group on obviously Facebook. It's a nice little Facebook group. And we do a lot of we talk about Star Wars collectibles and so much more like we do on the podcast. And guys, thank you again for all the listeners and viewers watching. Really appreciate you sticking around all the way to the end to talk about Star Wars. And really appreciate it. See you guys next time. And may the M, aka the midichlorians, be with you guys always and forever. Take care, guys. Peace out. See you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, by the way, we're gonna do a watch party, right? Last episode.
Oh yeah, we have time to talk about that. Tell them.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. So stay tuned for that. That should be fun. All right, later, guys.